you will confirm that based on your records, the titles you brought here this afternoon are all current titles. Meaning that they are, the name appearing in the title is the, that you have brought here is the current owner appearing in the title.
Yes, sir, but I have also brought cancelled titles with me,
All right.
to be honest.
Now, I just would want to ask a specific question on one of the titles. TCT number 2093-P in the name of Charina Corona.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of the TCT?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who is the seller?
It is the Mega World Corporation, sir.
Is that in the deed of sale?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of the deed of sale?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the date of the deed of sale?
October 21, 2008, sir.
Now, does the name Renato Corona appear in that deed of sale?
No, Your Honor.
As attorney in fact, is there a Renato Corona?
Yes, Your Honor.
So it is Renato Corona acting as attorney in fact for Charina Corona.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, just a clarificatory question, a follow-up actually of the question of Senator Drilon to the witness. I'm just a little bit confused because the subpoena ad testificandum refers to TCT number 2093-P, which I believe is the same TCT mentioned by Senator Drilon, correct? And you mentioned that it is in the name of Charina.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the TCT mentioned in our subpoena ad testificandum refers to TCT number 2093-P in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona. So I just want to be clarified, is this a typo? Are you talking about the same TCT? Because the subpoena refers to TCT number 2093-P in the name of Maria Cristina Corona. So I am confused if we're talking about two different TCTs, or was there a typo in the product? Do you have another TCT 2093-P in the name of Cristina Corona?
I believe there is no other 2093.
Okay, so it appears that this is a typographical error and perhaps we should correct our records. So the TCT number 2093-P is actually that you have is in the name of Maria Charina.
Yes, Your Honor.
And as clarified by Senator Drilon with CJ Corona as attorney in fact. So there is no TCT in the name of Maria Cristina Corona.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Trial suspended for 1 minute.
Yeah. The other issue I think they're trying to raise is why are the values so low? It is unbelievable, unthinkable, etc. Well, any of you who know property, who have property, knows the answer to this. Why should I put a bloated value when the BIR declares the...
Okay, nag-recess po, no?
Isang minuto ang impeachment trial at nakaka-ilang oras na po tayo,
Halos 2 oras, isang witness pa lang, ano? Pero nais kong tanungin itong ating mga guest lawyers ngayon, ano? Nagtanong si Senator Drilon patungkol nga dito sa mga properties na to. At sinabi niya, in one of the properties named under Charina Corona, nakalagay doon as attorney-in-fact si Renato Corona. Anong ibig sabihin nun?
Well, lumalabas tuloy na si Chief Justice Corona yung either nakipag-negotiate or nakipag-transact dun sa seller. In this case, it's Mega World on behalf of his daughter, no? I don't know why, baka either minor de edad yung anak niya or wala siguro sa Pilipinas or not available at that time. Pero actually, hindi naman ganun ka-unusual yun. It happens a lot of times. But siguro importante rin makita natin yung dokumento niya para malaman kung bakit siya yung umupo na attorney-in-fact for his daughter.
May implication ba yun na maaring siyang bumili tapos pinangalan lang sa
Well,
may implication nun? For us lay people kasi parang hinahirapan kami intindihin yung mga ganon.
well, pwedeng palabasin na ganun. But I guess there needs to be other evidence than just that particular document. No?
Nikki, ang gusto ko namang tulungan tayo ni Attorney Joey na ipaliwanag kung bakit na naman na-delay tayo sa araw na ito. Inasahan natin na mas mabilis dahil nag-pre-marking na ng exhibits, pero meron na namang lumabas na matinding detalye. Pakipaliwanag po yun, sir, at kung ano yung resolution doon para maiwasan na itong mangyari ulit.
Hindi ko alam kung ang aking kasagutan ay talagang tutugon sa iyong katanungan, ano? Pero ang napaka-importanting tanong or issue na lumalabas dito ay yung tungkol dito sa allegations of ultimate fact na parang nangangahulugan sa panig ng depensa na hindi valid ang mga inaakusa under Article 2 ng prosecution. Bakit nagkakaganito? Kasi gaya ng naipapaliwanag natin at napapag-usapan sa ibang pagkakataon, sa complaint or sa pleading na hinain ng prosecution, dapat sana malinaw na sinasabi nilang ito ang binibintang namin kay Justice Corona.
So, ang issue talaga is, malinaw ba? Sapat ba yun o hindi malinaw? Now, ang question, kung paano nga nagdesisyon. Pero bago siguro sagutin ni Attorney Joey, punta mo muna tayo sa press briefing room at merong press conference na gaganap.
There are suspicions, there are reports, but that's not enough to haul somebody, to hail somebody into court. And this is why, when a complaint is written this way, this is why you need a determination of probable cause. Di ba, pag kayo naasuntuan, doon muna tayo sa piskalya. Hindi naman kayo dire-diretso sa hukuman sa piskalya muna. You meet with the fiscal, tinitignan ng piskal yung affidavit ng kalaban nyo, o yung nagre-reklamo. Ano ba itong affidavit? Balita ko kasi, nagda-drugs to balita ko, ganito, ganun. Balitang-balita yan. Suspecha ko dahil mukhang parating antok. Pwede mo ba namang kasuhan yun ng ganun?
Sir, but despite your continuing objection, before the press con started, it seems that Senate President Enrile will allow the presentation of these documents.
Well, like I said, I think one of the things being discussed at the time we walked out was the preparation of memoranda. So where we'll be allowed to state our legal ground. So, that's a good development. It means more work, but it's a good development. But I think the other thing about, I have to say, that the chair has studied the case thoroughly. We could tell from the way that he was interrogating the witness that he had read the rules on electronic evidence, because the witness testified that the documents were following now a computerized process. So the Senate President was doing exactly that. He was trying to verify the knowledge of the witness on the basis of the rules of electronic evidence. So, the question earlier about whether we think there is ground for inhibition is not a matter to be taken lightly. We do recognize that the chair has been very studious, and I'm actually quite amused to see that the impeachment is a showcase for the octogenarians. They've actually taken over this thing. The younger guys are just wasting everybody's time.
Sir, follow up.
I tell
Sir,
you.
Kasi you're saying, kampante kayo, no? Kasi you're saying this and that.
I
about
look
nga-
kampante lang, but
Okay.
I
About,
always pray for a good day.
Anyway, you have this ongoing objection. But then, sir, pagdating naman sa opinion ng publiko,
Yeah.
habang sila ay naglalahad nitong mga ari-arian na supposedly ganito ganyan, doon talo ho kayo kasi nahahayaan silang nabibigyan sila ng pagkakataong ilahad
Hindi
ito.
naman ako papayag doon. Alam mo, ito ako doon lang ako sa kagatan, pero pagdating doon sa ligawan sa publiko, si Karen na ang bahala doon. Malakas din yung pambato namin dyan, di ba?
Pero sir, di ba, while
Yeah.
they're, going through all these properties, even though you are objecting
Yeah.
to the fact that, they're being brought, they're being discussed in court, yun nga, as far as public opinion is concerned, tumatanim yun sa isip nila.
Yun na nga ang problema, kasi noon pa nilalaso na yung isip. Yan ang sinasabi ko, nilalabas yung 45 titles niyan. Ba't di niyo panumpaan yan at magtestigo kayo dito? Kung alam niyo totoo yan. Yan ang sinasabi ko. Noon pa, ilang beses na bang pinagalitan ng Senate President ang pagdidiscuss nitong kasong to? 2 na. Di ba? Bago pa nag-umpisa yung litis, nagalit na. Sinabon-sabon yung hindi daw nag-a-apply yung gag order sa kanila. Naloloko ba kayo? Kayo nagreklamo, kayo naghain nito tapos nag-file kami ng manifestation pagpasok namin. Sabi nila, natalo daw kami sa first day dahil na-deny yung preliminary hearing. Actually, malaking victory sa amin yung first day dahil sinabi na naman ni Senate President, mag-ingat kayo Huwag nyo nang pag-uusapan yung kaso. Dito nililitis yan, hindi sa public forum. Tumitigil ba? Sa inyo ko na itatanong yan, hindi na ako.
Sir, last question. Sir,
sige.
kanina nga it was brought up that one of the properties is actually under the name of the daughter of CJ Corona. Pero
Yes.
syempre, ang sagot ng prosec naman ho dito, dummy lang, nilagay lang sa pangalan, pero sa kanya talaga.
Masyado namang master criminal si Chief Justice. Hindi na ba pwedeng maghanap buhay ng maayos yung anak niya? She's married to I don't know which daughter that one is in the state. She's gainfully, she's gainfully employed in her own right. Alam mo, itong mga taon to, hindi naman ordinaryong taon to. They're not super rich people. Nakita nyo naman yung mga figura doon sa SALN. Hindi naman, sa totoo lang, hindi naman astoundingly wealthy. Hindi naman yan kasing yaman ni Pinoy or may mga kuwang ko, ibang antas na ng kayamanan yun. Pero ito, they're, scholar sa Harvard ito, nagtapos sa Ateneo. Yung mga anak ganun din, tapos din, may sariling kakayahan. Bakit niya idideklara yung ari-arian ng anak niya, hindi na minor de edad yun? Pag minor yun, idideklara mo yung properties. May sariling pera yun. Bakit? Ano namang kinalaman niya doon?
Sir, I'm Rodolo
Can we have one
Philippine Star.
last question, please?
Yes.
I'm Rodolo Philippine Star. Sir, out of the 23 senator judges, ilan yung tingin yung nagiging partial doon sa prosecution?
That's not a fair thing for me to say. Wag naman ganun. And I think that wag nyo naman akong ipitin ng ganun. Siyempre, walang ipitan.
Okay.
Baka maging 4 o'clock yung briefing ko pag ganyan. No, but I think what is fair is, kayo naman you witnessed also what happened. Pwede naman kayo magsulat or mag-report nung mga napansin nyo. There is nothing wrong with that dahil nakita nyo naman. I don't have to say it for you. The conclusions you draw are going to be justified by what we saw. Diba? Siyempre, nariyan na rin yung mga search for truth, etc., etc. Di ayos. Search for truth pala
Sir, you said
This is as much, Nikki, a battle to win public opinion as it is a battle to win the votes of the senator judges. Pero yung babalikan natin yung iniwan nating question kay Attorney Joey na mukhang ang laging dinidiin nila, hindi pwedeng mag-provide ng ebidensya on ill-gotten wealth dahil dun sa Article 2 at mukhang ni-raise na naman ngayon at mahaba yung diskusyon. Medyo baka posibleng naiinip na yung ating taong bayan. Paano ni-resolve ng court ito, Attorney, para magtuloy yung trial?
Well, ang dulo nito, gaya ng sinabi ni Presiding Officer Senator Enrile, ay magsumite na lamang ang Defense Counsel at ang Prosecution Counsel para sa kanilang mga partido ng kanilang legal memorandum na sinasaad doon kung ano ang kanilang posisyon at ano ang kanilang argument para suportahan ang posisyon na sinasabi ng gaya ng sa depensa na hindi valid itong allegations na contained sa Article 2 ng impeachment.
Klaruhin lang natin, attorney, no, para maintindihan ng ating viewers. So, tatlong separate allegations ang sinasabi dito sa Article 3 na sinasabi ni Senator Chis Escudero. Una, itong sinasabi niya na yung accumulation ng ill-gotten wealth, no? Tapos yung hindi pagdi-disclose dun sa SALN niya. At saka yung, ano ba isa?
Yung hindi niya pag-include nung certain assets
sa kanyang SALN. Tatlo, magkakaiba pala yun. And they cannot vote, are they going to, because when they vote daw, isa lang ang iboboto nila na yung nakalagay doon sa una na non-disclosure dito sa kanyang SALN.
Kaya nilinaw ni Senator Alan, ano? Kaya parang sinummarize niya, ano ba talaga ang inaakusan nyo?
Yes, alin dito?
Tama. Oo. Kasi ayon nga dun sa rules on impeachment ng Senado, the senator judges will be called upon to rule on each article as laid out. Lamang doon sa Article 2, lumalabas na tatlong bagay ang inaakusa. Parang may sub-accusation each of those under Article 2. Gaya ng sabi mo, hindi publicly disclose, ang hindi pagsama ng mga ibang ari-arian, at pangatlo, yung kanyang acquisition of ill-gotten wealth. Magandang tanong ni Senator Chis, ano? Parang kung isa lang dito ang mapatunayan na totoo, sapat na ba yun para magkaroon ng conviction under Article 2? At pangalawa, paano kung halimbawa ang mapatunayan ay yung acquisition of ill-gotten wealth na hindi naman talaga ina-allege dun sa title, dun sa heading ng Article 2? Sapagkat ang sinasabi lamang dito sa Article 2 is really yung hindi pag-disclose publicly ng kanyang SALN.
Okay, kanina narinig po natin yung depensa, ano? Pero mukhang in a few minutes, uupo na naman yung prosecution.
So,
talagang public opinion din, naglalaban-laban.
Pero ang question na yan, so anong mangyayari? They're going to make a memorandum deciding on this, ganun ba?
Isusumitin nila sa presiding officer kay Senator Enrile at sa buong Senado. Pagkatapos ang buong Senado as well as si Senator Enrile, pag-aaralan ng mabuti ito at siguro si Senator Enrile either magro-rule on these arguments or will call for a vote among the senator judges.
So, tanong kay Attorney Manix, his personal opinion, itong SALN kasi, ang spirit behind the law to reveal your assets is really to make sure na you're not enriching yourself, ano? Sa tingin mo ba, disjointed yung tatlo or they're under the same spirit? What do you think?
Well, magandang tanong yan, Mark. Dahil tingin ko magiging isang malaking hamon yan doon sa prosecution on how they can prove that those three circumstances are inextricably linked. Na kahit na yung title nga ng article, ganun lang, non-filing. Dapat sapat na yun or sakop na lahat ng mga tinatanong ni Senator Chis whether hiwa-hiwalay nga ba yun o hindi.
Patahan muna natin, merong press briefing ngayon yung prosecution panel naman.
Wealth ni Chief Justice na isang bagay na malaki naming pinangangambahan at obviously pinangangambahan din ng depensa dahil bagamat ang appropriate na procedure ay i-post ang ebidensya pagdating dito kung sila ay may objection kapag ito ino-offer na. Sa dulo na po yan. Pero tila nararamdaman namin na kahit yung pagpipresenta lamang, kailangan natin sigurong linawin, no? Parati nilang sinasabi is that sa pagpipresenta ng ebidensya, ipipresenta natin yan at kung sa tingin nila ay meron silang objections, they will object initially. Pero kapag may usapin pagdating sa relevance, lalong-lalo na sa ultimate facts ng complaint na paulit-ulit nilang sinasabi, ang tamang ginagawa dyan ay kapag ito'y ino-offer na, which is sa dulo. Yan ang proseso. Ipipresenta lahat po itong minamarkahan ngayon, lahat po ng mga titulo, lahat po ng mga object evidence. Hindi po yan tatanggapin eventually kung sa dulo ng bago ka mag-rest ng iyong kaso ay gagawa ka ng formal offer. So doon mo nililista lahat ng ebidensya, anong gamit, anong relevance, at sila naman po ay magbibigay ng objection. But in short, the court should ventilate. Nilalabas dapat muna lahat. Pero kahit ultimo sa paglabas, ay talagang pinipigilan ng depensang mailabas ito na obviously sa tingin namin talagang masyadong mabigat yung mga ebidensya pagdating dun sa mga ari-arian.
linawin namin, no, kahit anong paulit-ulit na sinabi na namin at pilit na itinutulak ng depensa, sinasabi nila na ang reklamo under the second ground ng rules of ng aming articles of impeachment, pilit nilang sinasabi that that ground ay patungkol lamang sa usapin ng hindi pagpa-file at hindi pagdi-disclose. Pilit nilang pinipikit ang kanilang mga mata na pagdating po doon sa susunod na 4 na paragraphs sa ilalim nun. Sa 4 na paragraphs na yon ay malinaw na malinaw pagdating doon sa dulo ay paulit-ulit naming sinasabi na yung mabigat ang aming akusasyon pagdating doon sa accumulation ng ill-gotten wealth, acquiring assets of high values, and keeping bank accounts with huge deposits. That is Article 2, paragraph 2.4. It is so clear there. So we cannot see any reason why they want us to prevent from presenting any evidence for that matter. Panghuli po, ay gusto naming linawin na isang bagay. If there's anything that has been established today with the admission sa pagkakatanggap ng ebidensya patungkol doon sa 3 properties sa Taguig, isang register of deeds pa lang po tayo. Naipakita po natin doon sa 3 na unang-una ay nandun na po yung property inaamin nila, yung Bellagio property, ay naisaad na po natin doon. Nailahad na rin po natin yung property sa Bonifacio Ridge na naipresenta na rin po doon. At naipresenta na rin po natin yung property sa McKinley Hill na nasa pangalan po ni Charina R. Corona na siguro mas magandang ilahad mamaya ng aking mga kasama kung ano yung pinaka-significant about this title. But the significance of yesterday and today's hearing is very simple. Pinakita namin kahapon na kahit anong pilit nila na ayaw ipalabas ang SALN, finally na ilabas na natin yung SALN. Kung papansinin po ninyo yung SALN, napakalaki ng pinagkaiba kahit po sa sulat, kahit po sa description. From 2003 up to 2009, pagdating po ng 2010, bigla po may mga nagsulputang mga properties dito at may paliwanag pa. We will not get into that because that will be further heard in the Senate Impeachment Court. Pero ang malinaw na malinaw po dito ay may 3 pong properties na inilahad today. I will let my colleagues talk about that. But the only thing we want to talk about as far as SALN is concerned, it is clear that in terms of overall assets, based on the SALN we presented yesterday coming from the Office of the President, his asset base or his total assets po niya mula 1992 hanggang 2002 bago pumasok ng Supreme Court ay hindi halos nagbago, bumaba pa. Pagdating po niya sa Korte Suprema simula 2003, from 7.5 million or thereabouts ang kanyang assets, sa 9 na taon po lamang ay ito po'y nag-triple to 22 million pesos. So, dito po nagsulputan lahat yung iba't ibang properties na tingin ko maganda rin ipaliwanag ng aking mga kasama. But this is very, very damning evidence insofar as the degree of honesty and integrity as far as the Chief Justice is concerned. The SALN is a matter that is placed under oath. And we will show later, my other colleagues will explain as to where, as far as this most current SALN is concerned, makikita natin yung talagang mabibigat na ebidensya laban kay Chief Justice.
Sir Kat Domingo from Global News Network. Sir, what's your take on Attorney Roy's comment a while ago that yesterday, at the end of the day, your side of the house got what you want, which was the release of SALN without having to do anything because it was the senator judges who had to corner Attorney Vidal into submitting, or rather, had to convince Attorney Vidal into submitting the SALNs to court?
Walang sinasabi namin dyan. Yesterday, magandang araw yun para sa bayan eh. Kasi nalaman natin yung katotohanan. So, yung kaso po, People of the Philippines versus Renato Corona. So, magkakampi po tayo dito ba? Hindi ko alam kung bakit pinaglalaban kami ng depensa. We're actually on the same side. We're representing the people of the Philippines. Ang natayuan po natin dito yung mamamayang Pilipino.
Ako, sagot ko lang kay Judge Roy, inggit lang siya. No? Dahil meron na kaming hawak na ebidensya na magpapatunay kung itong nakasulat dito ay tama o mali. Yun lang yun eh. Ginawa po nila lahat para pigilin ang paglabas ng ebidensyang ito, no? Obviously naman, Kaya haba-haba ng prosesyon sa simbahan rin pa ang dadating, no? So, bakit pa nila pinipigilan ang paglabas ng katotohanan dito sa usapin na ito? Alam po natin na simple lang ang habol ng lahat. Kung yan ay senator judges, kung yan ay prosecution, kung yan ay depensa. Ano bang katotohanan? Sila ba ay nagsasabi ng totoo na ang lahat dito, no? Dahil pinapakita nila na-disclose na, tama na. Pero hindi pa natin sinusuri o pinag-aaralan na mabuti kung lahat ba dito, kung saan si punong maestradong Corona ay sumumpa na ito ang statements of assets and liabilities niya. Simple lang po yan.
Panghuli na lang po doon, no? Linawin ko yun. Please review the transcript. Malinaw yung pagtatanong ng private prosecutor sa clerk of court patungkol doon sa subpina. Ano ang ginawa mo patungkol dito sa subpinang ito? At sinabi niya, effectively sinabi niya ay dinulog ko po muna yan sa NBank. Hindi ko po yan inaksyonan. So, she had already said that as far as the subpoena was concerned, hindi ko ho yan sinusunod. Ano pang po pwede mong itanong doon? Because pagtingin namin doon ay lantaran at malinaw na pagsisinungaling on the part of the clerk of court pagdating po doon sa pagtatanong sa kanya. And in fact, hindi naman yung clerk of court sumagot sa katanungan ni Senator Drilon. Bumigay lang po siya. Inilabas niya on her own. Hindi naman siya tinanong kung dala mo ba, hawak mo ba. Bigla na lang niya nasabi na actually naandito po. So in short, you cannot blame the private prosecutor at the fact na hindi yun nailabas dahil dininay niya na in the first place. And in fact, naging mabait ang private prosecutor na hindi niya na pinursu yung usapin ng contempt because certainly it's a contemptible act on the part of the clerk of court. We are still studying our options as far as she's concerned with her obviously patent disregard for the rules and attempt at dishonesty on the part of the prosecution questioning.
Balikan lang natin para maliwanag yung transcript. Attorney Bautista, did you bring those SAL-ends with you? Ms. Vidal, Your Honor, in view of resolution of the court and bank on May 2, 1989, I am restricted because it says here in one of the guidelines that all witness for statements of assets liabilities will have to file with the clerk of court. It means that it will only be filed with me. Whether or not it should be given will depend on the court. And it is not within my competence to decide whether the purpose of the request is followed. So I am restricted.
Pakilinaw naman po yun, no? Kasi sa totoo lang, talagang nakakalimutan noon na talagang there was a blatant disregard or denial of a very pointed question. Dala mo ba yung SALN? At sabi niya, hindi.
Sir, nabanggit nyo kanina yung tungkol sa bank account. May move na ba yung prosecution panel para masilip yung bank account ni Chief Justice?
Malinaw, no? Ang impeachment ay isang exemption ng secrecy of bank deposits. So lahat ho yan ay siguradong pagkikilusan natin. Hinahanap na lang po namin yung tamang pagkakataon kung kailan ipipresenta po yan dahil makikita po natin kung ipapaliwanag po ni Congressman Sonny siguro pagdating doon sa land values para pagdating naman doon sa mga titulong na ipresenta today, siguro isa sa mga magtutulak sa amin ito para lalong usisain yung iba't ibang bank accounts.
Weng?
Wonder why Senator Chis Escudero had to ask that question kung sino ang nagsulat ng impeachment complaint dahil sinasabi niya under Article 2, malinaw doon sa title that you were only accusing the Chief Justice ng non-disclosure ng kanyang SALN. And yet, pagdating sa paragraphs, merong two more other allegations. Reported and suspected na second, na siya ay hindi nagdeklara ng ilang assets, and third, na nag-amass siya ng ill-gotten wealth. Bakit po ba ganun yung pagkakasulat ng impeachment complaint?
Para sa amin, no, kahit ulit-ulitin natin, yung parating sinasabi na dahil binadali daw yung impeachment complaint, kaya ganyan pagkakasulat. Kapag ganyan yung defense counsel natin, kahit pa 2 taon natin ihanda ito, hahanap at hahanap talaga ng pamamaraan para i-object, lalong-lalo na pagdating pa lang dun sa SALN. Constitutional duty para ilabas. Dapat wala nang debate doon. Pero malinaw sa amin kung bakit nila ayaw ilabas, tulad ng ipapaliwanag namin mamaya. Malinaw naman sa Article 2, ayan po kung bibilangin natin. There is the title. The title of this particular ground is not the operative word. Hindi naman itong nagdidetermina kung anong po pwede mong patunayan pagdating sa kaso. Titulo lang po yan for purposes of reference. Pero pag titingnan mo, malinaw na malinaw. On this particular paragraph, pinag-uusapan yung ill-gotten wealth at yung mga unexplained properties na hawak niya. Ang sinasabi lang po ni Senator Cheese is dahil ito'y kakaiba, bagong proseso, no? Hindi ito criminal proceedings, kailangan siguro linawin kung papaano magiging pagboto dahil merong iba't ibang aksyon o ginawa na inaakusa si Chief Justice. Maaari ba sa isa ay pwede na siyang ma-convict for that ground? We say yes. Why? Because he is accused essentially of betrayal of public trust. At iba't iba ang aspeto pagdating kung paano patutunayan. So in this particular ground, he is accused of culpable violation of the Constitution, graft and corruption, and betrayal of public trust. Pag may mapatunayan kami kahit isa po dyan, ay pwede siya makonvict because the ultimate operative thing that needs to be proven here is betrayal of public trust. At ito yung mga hakbang o aksyon na po pwede naming mapatunayan para po siya makonvict ng Senate.
Okay, sir, my question is, sinabi kahapon sa interview kay Attorney Roy, ang nakapuntos daw ang pagkakaalam prosecutors kahapon. Pero ang defense daw nakapuntos dahil ang ginagamit niyo daw na ebidensya ay galing sa clerk of court o galing sa Supreme Court. Pangalawang tanong ko po, ang clerk of court ba ng Supreme Court magdadala ba ng SALN na against kay Chief Justice Corona?
Well, sa tanong mo kung ang clerk of court ay magdadala ng SALN laban kay Chief Justice Corona, ang sagot dyan hindi natin alam Dahil matagal nga tinatago yung SALN, no? Sikreto ang laman nito. Kaya kung titignan nga po natin, kung nilabas po nila dati pa itong mga statements of assets and liabilities, mas madali po natin malalaman kung totoo ba talaga yung nilalaman. Dahil tinago po nila ito sa katagal-tagal, syempre uusisain po natin ito. Kung yung laman ngayon ng SALN, totoo ba o hindi. So hindi natin alam kung maglalabas ba ang SALN na laban kay Chief Justice. Yun po yung ginagawa ngayon sa plenaryo. Nagsisimula na yung paglalatag ng ebidensya sa iba't ibang mga titulo, no, na nasa pangalan po ni Chief Justice Corona.
Good afternoon.
So hintayin na lang po natin matapos yung
Alex Caldaut,
hintayin po natin matapos yung
Alright, ito po, nakita natin yung press briefing ng prosecution team naman, before that, yung defense team, no? So,
sabi ni Congressman Miro na kung ano man yung mga detalye doon, at the end of this whole thing, ang papatunayan daw nila, Nikki, is yung betrayal of public trust, meaning that encapsulates all of these things na pinapatunayan nila, but mukhang they're also ready to argue each point.
And also yung significance daw nitong paglalabas ng SALN ay para maipakita yung overall assets ni Corona from 1992 up to the present, na from 1992 to 2002 bumaba pa nga daw to, pero from 2003 to the present naging 22 million na true triple, no? Ano yung significance nitong pag-triple nito? Okay, the session is resuming.
Of Article Roman numeral number 2. Numeral number 2. Stating the respective position of the two sides for the consideration of the chamber. Second, the chair would like to suggest that in the marking of documentary evidence, then the marking should be only for the entire document. One exhibit mark with a description of the document, whether it is 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages, and so forth, and that it was signed. So that anyway, when you prepare your respective arguments or memorandum, then you can refer to exhibit 1 page 1, page 3, 2, page 3, or page 4, so that there is no sub-markings, because it will take time to, and it is also confusing to have so many markings. And I'm suggesting this because whatever you may say, the best evidence of the contents of a document is the document itself. You cannot vary it. So if you want to emphasize a specific item, then maybe you can ask permission that you put as sub-exhibit to emphasize that point. But to mark every page as a separate exhibit, I think it's a tedious and time-consuming system of marking exhibits. I would like to present that to the consideration of the prosecution and the defense for our next week of trial. So I would like now to come to the issue at hand. We were discussing about the propriety of introducing evidence on the totality of Article 2. And the ruling of the chair is, in order to protect the interest of the respondent and to give her a fair hearing and observe the principle of due process, the counsel for the defense may register his continuing objection to the oral testimony that would be presented on this article by the witnesses to be called to testify on it. And as far as the documentary evidence are concerned, we reserve the objection of the defense when these documents are formally offered in evidence to prove the allegations contained in the various articles of the articles of impeachment. Mr. Counsel?
We fully agree, Your Honor.
The prosecution? So let's proceed. Let's proceed with the trial. We'll continue with the hearing. The witness on the witness stand is still the Register of Deeds of Taguig.
Yes, sir.
Is the prosecution through with him, or are you still? He is under cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please continue with your cross-examination.
Right. With the kind permission of the Honorable Court.
Proceed.
Kindly go over the subpoena that was addressed to you. Ay, patay? Patay? Thank you. And tell us, ayun pala, thank you ha. And tell us which of those CCT covers parking spaces. Witness examining the documents in his possession. Alin dito ito? May I be allowed to help you, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir.
May I direct your attention in particular to CCT number 164-201-000062 and the CCT 164-201-0064 and finally CCT 164-201-00065.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm trying to find it.
Ano ba ngayon?
What date is it?
Sir, I gave to the prosecution some
Well,
of
I
the
was-
documents before.
In response to the query of the witness, I was informed by the lawyer of the prosecution handling the marking of the exhibits that these CCTs pertaining to the parking lots have already been turned over to the Secretariat.
What does it? Thank you.
Yes, sir, I have it with me now.
Witness referring to ano exhibit yan?
Okay, sir.
Hindi, markado na yung ano exhibit lang.
Yes, sir. Exhibit as A, condominium certificate of title 164-201-000063. Parking area number 50.
May we request that the CCT mentioned by the witness, Your Honor, be marked as exhibit, ano yung tawag? 15, Your Honor, or 16, Your Honor. Sige, thank you.
Let it be marked.
There is also condominium certificate of title number 164-201-0000064, parking area number 51.
All right. May we request, Your Honor, that the CCT identified by the witness be also marked as exhibit 17 for the defense, Your Honor.
Another one is,
Let it be marked.
the next one is condominium certificate of title number 164-201-0000065, parking area number 52, sir.
May we request, Your Honor, that the document identified by the witness be marked as exhibit 18? 18, Your Honor, for the defense.
Let it be marked.
Now, these parking areas, which you stated in your statement now, are parking areas for what unit, please?
Objection, Your Honor. I think the best evidence would be the CCTs.
How can the best evidence will apply on cross-examination?
Let-
Listing
let-
admission.
Let it be a part of the testimony of the witness.
It pertains to the parking area, to unit number 38B.
Alright. Tingnan mo kung
TS, condominium certificate of title number 164-201-0000062.
Alright. May we request, Your Honor, that the document identified by the witness be marked as exhibit 19? 19 for the defense, Your Honor.
Let it be marked.
Now, these parking lots that you made mention of in your statement now are parking lots for the unit you just stated? Witness examining the documents in his possession.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, they are not CCTs covering units in that condominium units, just for clarity.
Yes, sir. They are titles for the parking lots.
Thank you.
The three
They are,
previous ones.
they are separate and distinct, however, from the parking units, although covered by different CCTs. Right?
Please repeat the question, sir.
They are separate and distinct from the unit.
Yes, Your Honor. There are 4 different titles
All right,
for each
thank you.
of them.
Now, how about...
As of the moment, they're trying to check kung yung mga titulo corresponds to the
You
unit
came over to testify in response
pagmamayari
to
daw
the
nung nakarehistro.
subpoena issued by the Honorable Court. I presume that you examine all these documents.
Yes, Your Honor.
You find them to be in order.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's why you're swearing under oath that they are correct copies of what they purport to be, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, is there any among these documents that you examined not to be in order after your examination? Witness going over the documents, Your Honor.
Nasa, yes, sir. I believe them to be in order, sir.
Thank you. That will be all for the witness, Your Honor.
Is there any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Only one question.
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, in the course of the cross-examination, you were asked whether or not there was any instance that you personally participated in the complete process for the issuance of these titles. And your response was, there was none. My question is, what is the reason, if any, why, in spite of the fact that there was no single instance that you participated completely in the issuance of these titles, you still signed these titles?
Because there is a procedure, sir, which we follow in the office. And in such case, there is a there is an entry which the entry clerk does, and then there is a stamp in the document, and then the payment, and there is a receipt, and then there is the land registration examiner, and he initials and he gives it to me then. And so,
that procedure
although
was...
I was not present personally when it was done, but because of my function as a head of the office, I have knowledge that the steps were followed.
No further redirect, Your Honor.
No recross, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Witness, for coming over.
Can we now discharge the witness? Can we now discharge the witness? The witness is discharged.
May we just make a very short manifestation?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Well, actually, Your Honor, we started with the pre-markings. Unfortunately, due to limited time, we were not able to complete the photo copying. And so, we request that the markings of the deed of sale between Mega Ward and spouses Corona pertaining to the Belayo, as well as the deed of absolute sale between Mega Ward and Maria Charina Corona, as well as the certificate authorizing registration, which have not been photocopied, will be marked later on or next hearing considering that we don't have yet the photocopy.
Granted. And I suggest that next week, from here on, you should, I'm not trying to teach the prosecution what to do, but I'm just the chair, the presiding officer, simply suggesting this as a matter of expediting the proceeding. You should beforehand call a conference with your witnesses that you have asked to be subpoenaed and ask them to already to produce the documents that you are going to present and pre-mark those documents before we come to the courtroom for hearing, so that the markings will, exhibit marks will be just stated into the record for proper identification.
Duly noted, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. President?
Yeah. Yes?
Mr. President, before we call on our next witness, we just want to manifest and request. Manifest first that the BIR commissioner is here. We were informed that she does not have the documents with her. Anyway, we may not present her today. So may we request that she be excused, but be directed to appear next Tuesday.
Who is this?
This is the BIR Commissioner Kim Inares. That she be directed to appear under the same subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum next week, Tuesday.
By the way, for the information of the chair, because this involves the Internal Revenue Code, what is the purpose of presenting the Commissioner of Internal Revenue? To produce the income tax returns?
Yes.
Well, there are requirements in the production of internal revenue returns under the Internal Revenue Code. And I think the Commissioner knows that, and so it's proper to dispense with his presence today, but the chair, the presiding officer suggests earnestly that you comply with the provisions of Section 21 in relation to Section 270, 278, and possibly 290 of the Internal Revenue Code. See, the Commissioner knows that because the release of income tax returns requires the authority from the President.
Yes, we will comply with that,
Thank you.
Mr. President.
The Commissioner of Internal Revenue may leave the court with the request that she will come back next week on Monday.
On Tuesday, Mr. President.
On Tuesday at 2 o'clock to attend the hearing of this court. So ordered.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now we call on our second witness, the Register of Deeds of Quezon City.
Please call the witness and administer the oath to him.
Yes. Please raise your right hand and repeat. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this impeachment case against Chief Justice Renato Corona? So help you God.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Before calling this witness to testify, Your Honor, may I just manifest the markings of the SALN which my witness introduced yesterday and which were marked this morning. for the record.
Proceed.
July 22, 1992, Salen, Your Honor, was marked as our Exhibit P. December 31, 1992, Salen, Your Honor, was marked as our Exhibit Q.
Are these exhibits to be testified?
No.
by the-
This
different
was
ones?
yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
May I suggest that the counsel will identify himself for the record?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Attorney Jose F. Justiniano, Your Honor.
Yes. Please proceed.
Salen, as of December 3, 1993, was marked as our Exhibit R. Salen, as of December 3, 1994, was marked as our Exhibit S. Salen, as of December 31, 1995, was marked as our Exhibit T. Salen, as of December 31, 1996, was marked as our Exhibit U. Salen, as of February 21, 2001, was marked as our Exhibit B. Salen, as of February 5, 2002, was marked as our Exhibit W. And Salen, as of April 2002, was marked as our Exhibit X. Now, I will go now to the testimony of the Register of Quezon City. I am offering, Your Honor, his testimony to prove the existence of titles registered in the name of Chief Justice Corona and his relatives, his duties and responsibilities, the procedure in effecting registration involving sale of registered land. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, are you the Register of Deeds of Quezon City?
Your Honor, I am the Acting Register of Deeds of Quezon City, sir.
Since when did you become the Acting Register of Deeds of Quezon City?
I have been designated as the Acting Registrar of Deeds of Quezon City on January 16, 2012, Your Honor.
As Acting Register of Deeds of Quezon City, will you tell us some of your duties and responsibilities?
My responsibility as the Register of Deeds of Quezon City is to effect the registration of transactions involving lands, deeds within the Quezon City, as well as personalities of residents or personalities in Quezon City, sir.
Would you tell this honorable court the procedure in effecting registration involving transfer of ownership of registered land?
Counsel, will you please state the personal circumstances first of this witness? For purposes of identification.
Yes, Mr. Witness, will you please state your name, age, address, and other personal circumstances?
Your Honor, I am Attorney Carlo V. Alcantara, the Acting Registrar of Deeds of Quezon City. I am 47 years old with official business address at the Registry of Deeds, Land Registration Authority, Compound, East Avenue, Corner Near Road, Quezon City, Your Honor.
Proceed.
I have a previous question to you, and that I requested you to tell us the procedure in effecting registration of transfer of ownership of registered land.
A deed of absolute sale, for instance, sir, is executed between the parties, the seller and the buyer. Upon the notarization of this document, they will have to bring this copy of document, the deed of absolute sale,
And
before...
Who will receive the deed of sale?
The deed of absolute sale will have to be entered and officially presented at the Registry of Deeds for that matter, Your Honor.
And who is the person in your office who entered the deed of sale?
the deed of absolute sale together with the other supporting documents may be entered by the transferor or the seller, or it could also be entered by the buyer or the transferee, Your Honor.
After the entry of the deed of sale, what would be the next step?
Teka muna. At this juncture, Your Honor, may we call the attention of the Honorable Presiding Officer that we do not recall the witness having been sworn to before he started testifying. Meron na? Meron na?
Meron na
Thank
po
you,
yata.
thank you then.
I have a pending question to you, Mr. Witness.
Upon the actual entry in the primary entry book, now we have the electronic primary entry book, the transaction, the deed of absolute sale will have to be entered in the primary entry book. The
Just a minute, wait just a minute. Let's go step by. What is that electronic registry book?
Your Honor, the registration of transactions now with the Registry of Deeds, in particular Quezon City, is under the computerized registration system.
Will you describe to us the process in the computerized registration system?
Initially, Your Honor, the transactor or the party in interest who will be effecting the registration of transaction will bring the copy of the deed of absolute sale, the supporting documents such as the certificate authorizing registration, the copy of the transfer tax, the tax declaration of the parcel of land and the improvement if there is any, the certification that the land has been paid off the realty taxes, as well as the improvement if there is such an improvement.
Just for clarification, what
Stop there.
normally are the supporting documents aside from the deed of sale?
Your Honor, the deed of absolute sale must be accompanied by the owner's duplicate copy of title, the owner's duplicate copy of the seller,
That is the TCT.
the transfer certificate of title, Your Honor, if the subject matter of the sale is a parcel of land.
Yeah.
If, however, the subject matter of the sale is a condominium unit,
Then the CCT.
the CCT, Your Honor. In addition to the owner's duplicate certificate of title, there is a need to submit the supporting documents such as the certificate authorizing registration. This is the document issued by the Bureau of Internal Revenue showing that the appropriate taxes, such as the capital gains tax and the documentary stamp tax, has been paid by the proper party. In addition to the proof of payment of the national taxes, the local government, for that matter, likewise collects the transfer tax. In addition to the official receipt, which is being submitted to us for the payment of the transfer tax, there is likewise a requirement for the submission of the tax clearance certificate. This tax clearance certificate will include that for the land, if it is a parcel of land with no improvement, but if there is an improvement on the land, then a tax clearance also for the improvement.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
After those documents are brought to your office, what would be the next step insofar as electronic registration is concerned?
Your Honors, each of these documents will be entered in the electronic primary entry book. Upon the
Just a minute. What is that electronic primary entry book?
Your Honor, the electronic primary entry book is formerly known under the manual system of registration as our day book.
Okay.
It is the book where all transactions are entered. Upon, Your Honor, the entry of these documents with the electronic primary entry book, the assessment will have to be made by the concerned personnel to determine the amount of fees that will have to be paid. Registration fee as well as now the IT service fee.
After the assessment is made, what would be the next step?
After the assessment is made, the proper or the party in interest who brought the transaction to the registry will have to pay the appropriate or the assessment.
Do you require any proof of the payment of the assessment?
Your Honor, for the purpose of proving the assessment, there is a need for the party in interest who brought the transaction to the registry to be issued an official receipt.
Now, after all these documents have been completed, the proof of payment as well as the transfer document, what would happen next?
The assessment together, the documents themselves will have to be assigned to, we have a project officer who assigned this transaction. It is now considered a single transaction. For that,
Just a minute. Is this project officer under your control and supervision?
yes, Your Honor, he is a person for Quezon City. He is a personnel assigned with the Registry of Deeds for Quezon City, Your Honor.
So, after the documents are brought to that officer, what will happen next?
The project officer assigns the transaction to a particular encoder.
And what will be the job of the encoder?
The encoder, Your Honor, is the duty of the encoder is to enter the data of the sale. Identify the name of the seller, identify the name of the buyer, the subject matter of the sale, if it is a parcel of land or a condominium unit, the amount of the sale, the amount of the taxes paid relative to the capital gains and the documentary stamp tax, and also they will encode the data.
After encoding, what will happen next?
After the data relative to the sale has been encoded by the assigned examiner, the transaction or the document will have to be transmitted electronically.
How is this done? The transmission how is this done?
May I just intervene to clarify one thing? Is the encoder in its specific title to be registered, identified in the electronic registry? The encoder.
Yes, Your Honor.
He is identified
Yes, Your Honor.
in the computer itself.
Actually, Your Honor, the name of the encoder no longer appeared on the title after the title has been prepared, Your Honor.
And that is imprinted in the encoded material.
Yes, Your Honor, in the encoded material.
Okay, thank you.
Now, after the transmittal, what would be the next step?
The next step, Your Honor, is for the encoder to endorse it for examination by the deeds examiner.
Is this deed examiner also under your control and supervision?
The deeds examiner are likewise under the control of the Register of Deeds, Your Honor.
Now, after the examination is made, what would happen next?
The next step, Your Honor, is for the examiner, the deeds examiner, to recommend the approval of the transaction or the denial of the registration of that transaction, Your Honor.
Who has the authority to approve or deny the transaction?
Your Honor, the authority to effect the registration of the transaction is the Register of Deeds.
And in Quezon City, that will be yourself. Am I correct?
Specifically for the Registry of Deeds for Quezon City, there are deputies, and all the deputies are actually authorized to effect registration together with the Register of Deeds, Your Honor.
Before you approve or deny a transaction, do you read the documents presented to you?
Definitely, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, you were asked by this honorable court, you were issued a subpoena to bring the titles relative issued in the name of Chief Justice Corona or any of his relatives, as well as deeds of absolute sale, deeds of conditional sale, deeds of donation, deeds of assignment or transfer, contract of lease, certification authorizing registration issued by the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and other documents related to the foregoing. Do you have those documents with you?
I have with me, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have with you a copy of transfer certificate of title number RT 96031.
Yes, Your Honor, I have with me the original copy of Transfer Certificate of Title Number RT-96031, open close paren 270444, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, this was marked this morning as our Exhibit SS.
Just for clarification, is that the registered document, or is that the title issued after the registration?
Yes, Your Honor. This is the title issued
After the registration
after
of
the
the
registration.
transaction,
Yes, Your
in
Honor.
lieu of the TCT of the owner who sold the property.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Witness, I noticed that in Exhibit SS, there is a notation cancelled. My question to you, what was the reason why a notation cancelled was entered into this title?
Your Honor, on the fourth page of Transfer Certificate of Title Number RT-96031, open close parentheses, 270444, there is a specific entry. May I be allowed?
Yeah, please, proceed.
Under primary entry number 1685/RT-96031 sale. This transfer certificate of title was cancelled pursuant to the registration of a sale.
Do you have a copy of the deed of absolute sale which you just mentioned?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a copy of the deed of absolute sale.
For the record, Your Honor, this deed of absolute sale was previously marked as our Exhibit T, and the parties appearing is Victor H. Bukaling as seller and Christina R. Corona as buyer. And the consideration is 11 million pesos. This deed of sale was made on the 5th day of September 2003. Now, would you be able to tell this honorable court where this land is situated?
We will object to the question, Your Honor. The witness has
What
not
is the
been
ground of-
qualified.
Based on the record,
Not qualified.
if you can.
What is
No,
the
but
ground
if the
of...
question is based on the record, we'll have no objection. But
Yes.
apparently, Your Honor, the question tends to elicit an answer from his own knowledge. If it is based on his knowledge, he must be qualified.
No, based on
Where is this land located? That's the question, Your Honor.
Yeah.
the witness will be testifying, giving the answer based on the record that he has. If he doesn't know, he can say so.
Oh, no, that it's not when he knows or he
He
is
may
not.
answer if he knows.
If he knows.
Your Honor, looking at the technical description of the parcel of land identified as lot number 28, block number 10, this is situated, based on the technical description, Municipality of Marikina, Province of Rizal, Island of Luzon, sir.
Now,
Ina.
Martina, after this exhibit
Just a
P,
minute.
okay,
Why is the land in Marikina registerable in the city, excuse me, in Quezon City?
Your Honor, as far as my personal knowledge is concerned, portion of the Marikina, actually this is actually part of within the jurisdiction of the Quezon City.
And that land is within that jurisdiction.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, proceed.
thank you, Your Honor. As a result of this deed of sale, can you tell us, based on your record, if a new transfer certificate of title was issued?
Your Honor, based on the annotation at the back of the deed of absolute sale executed by Victor H. Bocaling, married to Maria Filipina A. Bocaling as seller, and Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato Corona, the transfer certificate of title number N-25490 was issued.
For the record, Your Honor, this transfer certificate of title issued in the name of Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato Corona, was marked this morning as our exhibit WU.
Sino ba nito sa marking ito?
Silence, please, silence.
You. Kunin mo na muna ito. Based also on your records, would you be able to tell this honorable court if exhibit UU was transferred to another person?
If the question, Your Honor, is based on your record, then the best evidence will be the record, Your Honor, not the testimony of the witness.
That's correct. Please reform the question.
Okay, I will reform, Your Honor. Mr. Witness, do you have with you transfer certificate of title 004-201-001-0259 in the name of Maria Carla C. Castillo, married to Constantino T. Castillo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, for the record, Your Honor, the transfer certificate of title 004-201-001-0259 was marked this morning as our exhibit XX. Now, based also on the record that you have, can you tell us what was the basis for the issuance of exhibit XX?
What is exhibit XX?
This is transfer certificate of title, Your Honor, issued in the name of Maria Carla C. Castillo, married to Constantino T. Castillo.
Proceed.
Your Honor, entry number 201-0028741, dated November 9, 2010, shows a registration of a sale transaction, Your Honor. This is a sale executed by Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona, in favor of Maria Carla C. Castillo, married to Constantino T. Castillo.
Do you have the deed of sale which you just mentioned a while ago?
Yes, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, this deed of sale was previously marked this morning as exhibit VB, and the amount is 18 million pesos.
How much?
18 million pesos, Your Honor.
The consideration. The consideration for the sale.
80, yes, Your Honor. Ito na. I direct your attention, Mr. Witness, on Exhibit double XX-2. For the record, Your Honor, in the memorandum of encumbrances indicated in Exhibit XX-2, this refers to the La Vista lot, Your Honor. And the area is 1,200 square meter. Again, Mr. Witness, do you have a copy of condominium certificate of title number N35812?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a copy of condominium certificate of title number N-35812.
For the record, Your Honor, this condominium certificate of title was marked this morning as our exhibit OO. Now, based on your records again, what was the basis for the issuance of this exhibit OO?
Your Honor, the basis for the issuance of condominium certificate of title number N-35812 in the name of spouses Renato C. Corona and Cristina R. Corona is a deed of absolute sale dated October 8, 2003, executed by Burgundy Realty Corporation as seller in favor of spouses Renato C. Corona and Cristina R. Corona, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, the deed of sale mentioned by the witness was marked this morning as our exhibit PP. And the consideration is 2,758,800 pesos. And this refers to 1 Burgundy Plaza, Quezon City. Now, do you also have with you transfer certificate of title RT3191?
Your Honor, I have with me the original copy of transfer certificate of title number RT-3191, open close parenthesis 163660. This is a title registered in the name of Renato C. Corona, married to Maria Cristina R. Corona, Your Honor.
We will ask you, may we request, Your Honor, that this document marked as Exhibit QQ be marked as Exhibit 20 for the defense, Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly.
And the date of the instrument, reading February 12, 1990, March 8, 1990, be encircled, Your Honor, and marked as Exhibit 20-A for the defense, Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly.
For the record, Your Honor, this transfer certificate of title number RT3191 was marked this morning as our exhibit QQ. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Do you also have with you transfer certificate of title number N141891 in the name of Renato C. Corona of legal age married to Cristina R. Corona?
Your Honor, I have with me the original copy of transfer certificate of title number N-141891. This title is registered in the name of Renato C. Corona, married to Cristina R. Corona, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, this transfer certificate of title N141891 was marked this morning as our exhibit RR.
Your Honor, please, may we be allowed to
What
have,
is the pleasure of the defense counsel?
may we have this exhibit RR, Your Honor, be marked as our exhibit 21 for the defense,
Mark it accordingly for the defense.
and the date appearing herein, reading entered at Quezon City, Philippines, on the 23rd day of October 1995 at 10:30 a.m. being circled and marked as exhibit 21.
Mark it
21 as A,
accordingly.
Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly.
May I proceed, Your Honor? When
Proceed.
they are marking.
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, do you also have with you transfer certificate of title 125863 in the name of Mirlam Melad Bahar?
What is the relevance of this title named in someone when we are litigating a case against Chief Justice Renato Corona?
May I be allowed to explain, Your Honor? This was cancelled pursuant to a deed of absolute sale, and a new title was issued in the name of Constantino T. Castillo, married to Maria Carla C. Castillo.
So proceed.
No, but the question here, may we interrupt, Your Honor?
Yes.
The question is, what is the pertinence or relevant when the person here being impeached is the Honorable Justice Corona? These are entirely new individuals, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is just the source title. The origin of another title, 327732, issued in the name of Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Maria Carla C. Castillo.
But unless the explanation and the qualification made by my colleague, Your Honor, is already made on record, then there will be no basis. We will therefore object on grounds of immateriality and irrelevancy, Your Honor.
You lay the basis.
Mr. Witness, Exhibit YY was cancelled. Will you tell us the reason for the cancellation of this title?
Again, the same objection, Your Honor. Impertinent, immaterial, and irrelevant because the person named therein is not involved in this litigation, Your Honor.
But according to him, there is a connection. And they're tracing it backward.
That is precise. I'm sorry, Your Honor. That is precisely the basis of our objection. That basis had not yet been laid.
So,
From one transfer to another, then they jump into the conclusion that this is material simply because there is a Corona name in here. And there is already a previous ruling of this Honorable Court that any and all evidences not covered by that order are deemed there is a prohibition, Your Honor.
will you kindly reverse your questioning? Go back in time.
Mr. Witness, do you have with you transfer certificate of title number 327732 in the name of Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Maria Carla C. Castillo?
Where is may I be permitted? Where is Renato Corona, the person, the official impeached in here?
Your Honor, there was already a discussion about this issue, whether we can present evidence on the titles registered under the relatives of Chief Justice Corona pursuant to the provision of the forfeiture law on ill-gotten wealth. In fact, there is a pending issue which required both parties to file simultaneous memoranda.
There is no.
So until there is a ruling, we should be allowed to present evidence on this issue.
There is no. Yes, Your Honor.
Let me make a ruling. what is the relationship of Carla A. Castillo to the respondent?
Your Honor, Carla C. Castillo is the daughter of Chief Justice Renato Corona. In fact, his full name is Carla C., meaning Corona Castillo.
Well, anyway, the question is if he has that title. So the question, the witness may answer.
But a question whether he is entitled or not.
My question is, what was the basis for the issuance of transfer certificate of title N327732?
Does your document state that? Because if that is stated in the document, then the best evidence will be the document itself.
The witness testified already how the procedure in effecting registration, and he said that deed of sale is presented before a registration is made. That was already covered.
That is not what I'm asking. I'm asking for the basis, Your Honor. Ano ba naman? Simple.
Please,
What is the
will you
basis?
kindly repeat your question?
My question is, there was a transfer certificate of title issued in the name of Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Maria Carla C. Castillo. My question is, based on the procedure which you described a while ago, what was the document used in effecting registration in this transfer certificate of title?
Irrelevant, immaterial, impertinent, Your Honor.
We submit, Your Honor.
If it is I'm sorry, Your Honor. Because if it is merely the procedure, we'll have no objection.
It is,
If the idea
I
is-
think the tendency of this question is simply a preliminary question leading to another question.
But
So
then-
let the witness answer.
But then, Your Honor, it will be doing it in the reverse way. What we are complaining of is the basis had not been properly laid. If the basis had been properly laid, then we have no objection, Your Honor, in connecting the relationship of the party named in the document as being related to the impeachable public officer, Chief Justice Corona. But there is no basis whatsoever. From nowhere, we are confronted with the situation where there is a deed of sale, where there is a TCT in the name of a Corona, but no relation yet. If this Corona is the daughter and so on, then this is covered by the prohibition pursuant to the order.
I'm sorry, compañero, the chair has already made the ruling. Unless he will consider.
Let the witness answer, and if the irrelevancy of this line of questioning and the answers, the council may make a motion to strike out the answers.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, transfer certificate of title number 125683 is a title registered in the name of Mirla Nelad Bahar, married to Beneroso E. Bahar. On the face of this title, Your Honor, there is a stamp mark cancelled. This title is no longer an existing title. This title was cancelled.
Why was it cancelled?
Based on the entry appearing on this title, there is a memorandum of the registration of sale. The memorandum under PE number or primary entry number 8708/TZAS-125683 sale. Your Honor, let me read the annotation. This certificate of title is hereby totally cancelled by virtue of a deed of sale executed by Mirla Melad Bahar, married to Beneroso E. Bahar, in favor of Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Carla C. Castillo, for the sum of 15 million pesos, issuing in lieu thereof transfer certificate of title number N-327732/TZAS-169. This deed of absolute sale is docketed as document number 77, page number 16, Book Number 1, Series of 2009, of the Notary Public of Ana Katrina Valdez Cruz. This deed of absolute sale was registered on March 17, 2009, Your Honors.
And the deed
In
of
view,
sale
in
is
view of the answer of the witness, Your Honor, and the privilege granted us by this honorable court, we are moving to strike out the answer of the witness. There is no mentioned in here of this acquisition being participated in by the respondent.
Unless,
Your Honor, Chief-
unless the prosecution can establish the connection of Constantino Castillo and what's the name of the wife?
Maria Carla
Maria Carla C. Castillo. To the respondent, I will authorize the striking out of the answer. You have to establish that connection.
We will, Your Honor, later. Somebody will testify as to relationship between Constantino T. Castillo and Maria Carla C. Castillo to Chief Justice Corona, and that will be taken care of by another witness.
All right,
Your Honor,
with that answer, I will allow the answer to stay in the record in the meantime until that evidence is presented.
subject to the
Subject
our
to
motion
the right
this-
of the defense counsel
For
to
the
take
striking
any
out.
action that he may wish.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You mentioned a deed of absolute sale. Do you have it with you?
Your Honor, I have with me a deed of absolute sale dated March 11, 2009. Deed of absolute sale between Mirla Melad Bahar, married to Bineroso E. Bahar as vendor, and Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Carla C. Castillo as vendee, Your Honor, docketed as document number 077, page number 016, book number 1, series of 2009, under the faith of Ana Katrina Valdez Cruz, Notary Public, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, this deed of absolute sale mentioned by the witness was marked this morning as our exhibit ZZ. And that the consideration is 15 million pesos.
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, on
By the way, who received the 15 million pesos?
the seller, Your Honor, Mirla Melad Bahar, I suppose.
And who paid for it?
Well, on its face, Your Honor, it says that it was the spouses Constantino T. Castillo and Maria Carla C. Castillo.
Okay. Proceed. I just want to clarify that point so that there's no vagueness or doubt about it.
And for the record also, Your Honor, the property is situated at number 6 Kalayaan Avenue, Diliman, Quezon City. Now, also on this paragraph, it mentioned transfer certificate of title number 125683. Do you have that title with you?
Exhibit, sir. Exhibit.
Hindi, exhibit double Y.
Double Y.
Double Y, double Y.
Mr. Counsel, may I take a look at the copy of the title, Your Honor? So you're looking for this 25, sir. May I inquire again from the council, are you looking for, or are you inquiring on the title, sir? The cap.
If you have in your possession transfer certificate of title 125683 in the name of Mirla Melad Bahar, which has been cancelled already.
Yes, Your Honor. I have with me the original copy of transfer certificate of title number 125683, Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, transfer certificate of title 125683 was marked as our exhibit YY.
Was that the property that was that had a consideration of 15 million?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Proceed.
May we be allowed, Your Honor, to mark this exhibit Y as our exhibit 22, Your Honor?
Mark it accordingly for the
And
defense.
the entry appearing on page 2 thereof be encircled and marked as exhibit 22-A. Date of instrument 31403, date of inscription 3804, Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, do you also have with you transfer certificate of title 85121?
Mark as.
Your Honor, I have with me the original copy of transfer certificate of title number 85121. This title, Your Honor, is the original copy.
Yes. Now, for the record, Your Honor, this certificate of title 85121 was marked this morning as our exhibit triple G in the name of Renato C. Corona and Cristina R. Corona. Now, Mr. Witness, I noticed that there is a notation here, cancelled. What was the reason why this title was cancelled?
Your Honor, this title is a cancelled title. There is an entry appearing on the last page of the electronic copy of this title under entry number 201007054, registered on April 13, 2010. This is a sale, and if I may be allowed, Your
Please
Honor,
do so, Mr. Witness.
the annotation appearing herein is sale, executed by spouses Renato C. Corona and Cristina R. Corona in favor of spouses Rosel V. Rivera and Amelia E. Rivera for the sum of 8 million pesos in accordance with document number 138, page number 29, book number 4, series of 2010 of Notary Public of San Juan, Wina T. Tan, dated February 26, 2010. This title is hereby totally cancelled, issuing in lieu thereof TCT number 004-201-0001-387.
May we request, Your Honor, that the document identified by the witness and marked as Exhibit Triple G, tama ba? Triple G, be marked as Exhibit 23 for the defense, Your Honor, and the encumbrances appearing at the back thereof, marked as Exhibit GG-1 as 23-A, which is dated February 25, 1922. Likewise, Your Honor, entry number 3899-8521, appearing at the back thereof under the first encumbrance dated April 21, 1993. be marked as Exhibit 23, that's B, Your Honor.
Mark it accordingly as requested by the defense.
And the last entry appearing on Exhibit Triple G-2, Your Honor, as Exhibit 23, that's 3. 23 that's it.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
May I suspend the trial for 1 long minute?
Okay, nilabas na po itong mga
Dokumento.
mga title ng mga properties
Sa-
na pag-aari ng mag-asawang Corona
At kanilang anak.
ang kanilang anak na si
Christina.
Christina Alcantara, no? But first, nagkaroon nga ng
Castillos.
question, Castillo.
Ito po yung mga properties na nasa Quezon City. Kaya po ang tumitistigo po ngayon ay yung Registrar of Deeds ng Quezon City. Bagong-bagong upo po ito, pero competent pa rin po siya bilang head of agency na magtistigo dito sa mga properties na ito.
Ito Constantino Castillo, asawa ni Carla C. Castillo, na allegedly anak ni Renato C.J. Corona.
Kanina, Nikki, nag-challenge ang depensa na i-prove ng prosecution kung ano ang link nitong properties na pag-aari or binili or registered under the names of the kids kay Justice Corona. Kaya nais kong itanong sa ating mga consultants dito, no? Bakit kailangang i-prove yon? At merong karapatan bang mag-ask na i-strike out yung buong testimonya hinggil dito kung hindi ma-prove?
Well, yung objection ni Justice Cuevas is based on lack of relevancy or materiality doon sa pinapresenta ng witness. So sabi niya, sino nga ba naman tong mga Castillo na to? Wala pa kayong napapakitang connection with Chief Justice Corona. Kaya kine-question niya yung relevancy. Narinig naman natin na sinabi ni Attorney Justiniano na papatunay nila to later on. I guess through another witness, that's what he said. No? So
pwede yun na
abangan lang
ito
natin.
muna before ipalabas yung witness na nag-establish ng identity nito para, kasi ayaw tanggapin ng defense, no?
Well, siguro dapat nga inuna muna yung proof of your affiliation between Chief Justice and the Castillos, if ever there is actually a connection. But it seems that the prosecution is confident that they'll be able to satisfy that particular requirement.
Pag ganon, they will have to also subpoena yung birth certificate to prove that the daughter siya or the marriage certificate, yung mga ganon.
Yes, most likely that
Oh.
will be one of the requirements of the defense, no? Just to make sure there's no question.
Attorney Joy, pakipaliwanag nga po. Bakit po medyo para sa mga hindi abogado, medyo boring po ang nagaganap at medyo talagang hindi po eksplosibo. Kumbaga, pakipaliwanag nga po pa sa anong relevance nitong mga dokumentong ito, nitong prosesong ito sa kabuuan ng pag-prove ng kaso.
Ang ginagawa kasi ng prosecution ngayon, ina-identify nila yung bawat property na maaari nilang ipakita na pag-aari ng Chief Justice o kaya ng kanyang pamilya. Ngayon, ang susunod siguro dito ay pagtatahi-tahiin niya to para maipakita na napakaraming properties at napakaraming pag-aari ang naipon ni Chief Justice. Ngayon, kaya tumatagal kasi kailangang usisain bawat dokumento. Meron silang pinagkasunduan kahapon na mag-pre-marking na bago sa trial ngayon, pero dahil sa kakulangan ng oras, mukhang hindi natapos para dun sa lahat ng dokumento. So nakikita natin yung ibang dokumento ngayon din lang minamark. Doon naman sa mga natapos na i-mark kaninang umaga, pinagdaraanan pa rin yung proseso na yung Register of Deeds in this case, no, for Taguig and Quezon City ay tinatawag para i-identify at magpatunay dito sa mga dokumento na which are under their custody as registers of deed for those areas. Kaya tumatagal kasi document by document
So ito parang pag na-establish na itong mga evidence na to na tinanggap na, no, admissible na yan, i-compare to dito sa SALN niya. Dapat ba naka-reflect itong mga properties na ito at the time na binili niya or within the year na binili niya mga to, dapat ganon under the law?
Oo. Sa requirements ng batas, oras na maging property mo or maging asset mo ang isang condominium, halimbawa, dapat at the very least, dun sa susunod na SALN mo for the following year, isusulat mo na roon under your list of assets yung property na yun. Halimbawa, nabili niya noong 2002, let's say in May 2002, dahil na-file na niya yung kanyang statement of assets supposedly ng first quarter of 2002, ililista niya ito for his statement of assets in 2003.
Kapag hindi nakalista yun, anong ibig sabihin?
Nagre-resume na po yung
Okay,
trial.
mamaya nyo nasagutin yan. Nagre-resume na daw yung trial.
Okay, balik tayo sa session hall.
You may proceed.
Ito, hindi pa niya na. For the record, Your Honor, the deed of sale mentioned by the witness was marked this morning as our exhibit HHS. And the amount is 8 million pesos. And this deed of sale was signed on February 26, 2010.
Who received the payment?
The one who received the payment, Your Honor, were Rodel B. Rivera and Amelia Rivera.
And who paid?
Who received the payment? I'm sorry, Your Honor, it's the other way around. The seller here who received the payment was Renato C. Corona and Cristina R. Corona.
In other words, the Chief Justice was the seller.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. Witness, do you also have with you transfer certificate of title RT 20758?
What's the relevance of this title to the case?
Your Honor, this was cancelled by virtue of a deed of absolute sale, and the buyer here was Constantino T. Castillo, the son-in-law of the Chief Justice.
Witness, proceed.
I'm sorry, Constantino T. Castillo married to Carla R. Corona. I'm sorry, I overlooked the name Carla R. Corona.
Proceed.
Your Honor, I have with me transfer certificate of title number RT-20758, open close parenthesis, 129302, registered in the name of Daniel G. Encina, married to Domitiana Atrero. Your Honor.
For the record, Your Honor, transfer certificate of title RT 20758 was marked this morning as our exhibit 3C, Your Honor. Mr. Witness, I also noted that there is a notation cancelled. What was the reason for the cancellation of this title?
What is the pleasure of the counsel for the defense?
For the cancellation of exhibit 3C, Your Honor.
What was the reason, Your Honor? And apparently the question is based on what appears in the document. So the
Based on his record, in his possession.
Especially, what could be in his record except this document? That's my observation. That is an objection, Your Honor.
We submit, Your Honor.
What is the question?
The question was,
What is the basis?
there is a notation here
Cancel.
in exhibit 3C. The word cancelled. My question, what was the reason for the cancellation of this title?
Well, if the witness knows the reason for the cancellation of that title, please, he may answer.
Your Honors, on the third page of this title, there is an entry PE number 2765/R RT-20758, open close parenthesis, 129302, sale. If I may be allowed, sir.
Please, Mr. Witness.
This certificate of title is hereby totally cancelled by virtue of a deed of sale, PE 2765/RT-20758, open close paren 129302, executed by Daniel G. Encina, married to Domiciana Atrero, in favor of Constantino T. Castillo III, married to Carla R. Corona, for the sum of 10,500,000 pesos, issuing in lieu thereof transfer certificate of title number NDUS 260027, book number 1301, page number 27, document number 165, page number 34, book number 9, series of 2003 of Notary Public of Quezon City, Manuel S. Padolina. Date of instrument, December 15, 2003. Date of inscription, February 23, 2004, Your Honors.
I will allow the the presence of this answer into the record only for purposes of recording it, but I must admonish counsel to establish the relevance of this transaction to the this impeachment case involving the Chief Justice.
We will do so, Your Honor.
May be allowed, we ask permission, Your Honor, that we be allowed to mark this exhibit triple C as exhibit 24 for the defense, Your Honor. And the entry read into the records by the witness being circled and marked as exhibit 24-A. More especially, date of the instrument, December 15, 2003, and date of inscription, December 23, 2004, Your Honor.
Must mark it accordingly as requested by the defense counsel.
For the record, Your Honor, the deed of absolute sale was earlier marked this morning as our exhibit triple D. And the new transfer certificate of title issued in the name of Constantino T. Castillo, married to Carla R. Corona, has been marked as exhibit triple F. And also for the record, I don't have to make that manifestation anymore, Your Honor. That will be all with the witness.
Any cross?
Your Honor, please, the court will probably notice that there are a lot of documents. Even the very witness of the prosecution had been apparently confused with too many documents. We will only ask that we be allowed to cross-examine on the next session of this honorable court, Your Honor.
If there's no objection, the chair is disposed to grant the request of the defense counsel to cross-examine this witness in the next hearing of the this impeachment case, and you are requested to appear here in the succeeding hearing of this case. Another witness, the witness is discharged.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Another witness, counsel?
Yes, we may call now our next witness, Mr. President.
Proceed.
So we are calling the next witness for the prosecution,
Your Honor.
Register of Deeds of Marikina. Sino ikaw? And to conduct direct examination, Congressman Barzaga.
Who?
Congressman Barzaga, Your Honor, will conduct the direct examination.
Proceed.
Please raise your right hand for swearing. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you will present in this impeachment case against Chief Justice Corona shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, Your Honor. So help you God.
If Your Honor, please, may we request the witness to state his name and other personal circumstances.
Proceed.
I am Attorney Cedfrey H. Garcia. I'm the Acting Register of Deeds of Marikina with office address at 103 JP Rizal, Nangka, Marikina City.
We offer the testimony of the witness, Your Honor. The witness shall testify that he is the Register of Deeds for the City of Marikina. He will also testify regarding his important functions and duties as Register of Deeds. He will also testify that he came to this court this afternoon on account of the subpoena issued by the Honorable Impeachment Court, and he would also testify regarding the documents stated in the subpoena together with identification of those documents.
What is the purpose of offering this witness?
Well, the purpose, Your Honor, is to prove that based on the official records of the Register of Deeds in Marikina, there are existing titles in the names of the spouses Cristina R. Corona and Renato C. Corona.
Proceed.
May it please the Honorable Court. Mr. Witness, you stated that you are the Register of Deeds of Marikina. Could you please tell us, since when have you been the Register of Deeds of Marikina?
I've been the Register of Deeds of Marikina since September 16, 2006, up to present, Your Honor.
And as Register of Deeds for the City of Marikina, could you please state before this Honorable Impeachment Court what are your principal duties and responsibilities?
The principal responsibilities and duties of the Register of Deeds is we are the repository of all land records of titled properties. We registered interest over registered land or unregistered land, chattel mortgage, and we issue titles. We register original transfer certificate, both from as directed by the court or by administrative body. Your Honor.
In the subpoena issued to you, you were directed to present or to bring with you TCT number 97119 in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona. My question is, did you bring said TCT?
As per record, Your Honor, we have that TCT, Your Honor.
Do you have the original of that TCT?
Yes, sir.
Could you please hand it to this representation? For the record, witness handing to this representation TCT number 97119 in the names of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona, both of legal age, Filipinos. And also for the record, Your Honor, we would like to manifest that this document has been previously marked in the the photocopy has been previously marked before the start of the hearing in the presence of the lawyers of both the prosecution and defense and marked as Exhibit H. In the subpoena, it is also provided, you are also directed to present TCT number 97120 in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona. Do you have the TCT right now?
Yes, sir. I have the TCT right now.
Could you please present the original of that TCT?
This is the TCT 97120.
For the record, the witness handed to this representation the original copy of transfer certificate of title number N97119 97-120 in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona, both of legal age, Filipinos. And also for the record, the photocopy has been pre-marked before the start of the hearing and has been marked as Exhibit 11. Sorry, Your Honor. Also, in the subpoena, you were also directed to bring before this honorable court TCT number 97121 in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona. My question is, did you bring this TCT?
Yes, sir. I have the TCT with me.
For the record, Your Honor, I would like also to manifest that the witness gave to this representation the original copy of transfer certificate of title number N-97121 in the name of Maria Cristina R. Corona, married to Renato C. Corona, both of legal age, Filipinos. And also, a photocopy of this TCT has been pre-marked as Exhibit JJ, Your Honor.
Tuloy-tuloy po ang impeachment trial at sa putong ito ang kanilang dinidirect examination ay si Attorney Garcia, yung sa register po ng Marikina City. Tatanong po natin sa ating mga legal consultants, una-una, bakit kailangang iba't ibang RD ang ipatawag? Bakit tatlo pa ang tao para magpatunay dito sa mga property nito? Explain nga po kung anong sistema sa ating bansa, sir.
Yung sistema natin is yung RD, meron lamang siyang jurisdiction or kakayahan na magpatunay sa dokumento doon sa mga properties na located within his territorial jurisdiction. Halimbawa, yung nagtitestigo ngayon na RD for Register of Deeds para sa Marikina, ang kanya lamang jurisdiction ay to have custody of the titles na tumutukoy dun sa mga lupain or property within Quezon City, I'm sorry, Marikina in this case. Ngayon, ang isa pang mahalagang siguro kailangang tandaan is bakit ginagawa ito ng prosecution.
Napaka-tedious, iniisa-isa yung mga detalye, yung mga certain portions. Bakit ganon?
Kasi sa ganitong pamamaraan, gusto nilang masigurado na hindi maka-question ng defense counsel or defense party yung unang-una, yung authenticity nitong mga titulong to, at pangalawa, na ito ay nakapangalan doon sa mga taong tinutukoy doon. At yung mga taong tinutukoy doon, gaya nung kaninang pinag-usapan natin, ay mga kapamilya ni Chief Justice Corona.
So yun nga yung tinatanong kanina ng defense, no? Sabi niya immaterial daw ito, irrelevant. Bakit? Why did the defense raise that issue?
Kasi nga hindi pa naman nasasabi or hindi pa na-state for the record kung anong relasyon nitong mga nakapangalan dito kay Chief Justice Corona. Kasi halimbawa doon sa ilang titulo, ang nakalagay na pangalan is, let us say, Maria Cristina C. Castillo, ganun ba? Hindi natin alam kung ano yung tinutukoy nung middle initial na C. Ibig sabihin ba nun, automatic na yung C stands for Corona? Hindi pa naman sinasaad, at hindi mo makikita.
Kailangan establish pa yun.
Kay Attorney Manix, Nikki, gusto ko itanong kung bakit importanteng balikan yung mga pinanggalingan. Dahil dito napapanood natin na yung unang may-ari binenta kay ganito at binenta naman dito kay Christine o kung kanino man. Bakit importanteng bumalik dun sa mga unang may-ari?
Well, unang-una kasi sa proseso sa pagtitulo ng lupa natin, hindi mo kasi makakansela yung dating titulo hanggat mapatunayan mo na mayroong transaction na nangyari, whether it's a donation or a deed of sale, to a buyer. So, although may nakita akong isang transaction na dun sa Register of Deeds ng Marikina yata, bago dito.
Quezon City.
Na meron rin transaction involving Justice Corona And
His daughter.
Ayan,
Mm.
oo.
So-
So, pang gusto siguro patunayan ng prosecution dyan, nai-report ba to
Just a
sa
quick follow-up
SAN,
doon.
no?
On that particular item, Attorney Manix, pwede ba yon na yung tatay magbenta sa kanyang anak?
Well, baka palabasin niya na donation na inter vivos, no? Rather than an outright sale. Ang pagkaintindi ko sa prohibition is with respect to spouses, not necessarily with the father or a child, no? But more than likely, hindi ko rin nakita yung presyo Pag kung mababa kasi yan, baka ang presumption ng ano dyan, it's a donation na. No?
Paano yun? No? Kasi if you're looking at the SALN at nakastate doon yung kanyang kung magkano yung mga properties, nandun yung ibang mga properties, no? Paano kung hindi tumutugma yung amount ng properties doon sa SALN dito sa amount ng mga titles? What does that mean?
Well, kung ganun kasi, kung yung SAN na nakalagay doon yung mga assets and liabilities niya, yung net worth, kung hindi tumugma doon, yung kahulugan yan, hindi accurate yung dineclare ni Chief Justice. So in that case, that might, no, that will be a violation of the law, no, on the SAN. And since it's sworn before an authorized officer, baka lumabas pa na perjurious yun.
Pero for example, no, kasi increase yung presyo ng ating properties every year, ano? Minsan bumabagsak, minsan tumataas. Paano yun? Does that mean that every year you have to have your properties appraised to make sure that you put the right amount in the SALN? Ganun ba?
Yung pagiging a public officer kasi, unfortunately, that's one of the requirements dahil nga sinusweldo kayo ng bayan sa pagtrabaho nyo. So, isa yan sa pinaka requirement ng pagiging public officer. Unlike yung mga ordinaryong tao, usually nakikita lang naman yung income natin when we file our tax returns. So sa public officer, aside from the income tax return, meron pa silang ganitong requirement.
So, Attorney Manix, yung income, speaking of income and speaking of these properties, kung isa kang public officer na, Attorney Joey, pwede ka pa rin bang merong ibang pinagkakakitaan na pwedeng siguro magamit ng depensa, ipakita na to show na kaya ngang bilhin itong mga properties na ito?
Pwede naman yun, ano? Kasi gaya ng kaso ng maraming public officials, nagtrabaho sila sa pribadong sektor bago sumali sa gobyerno. At madalas, meron ding mga naipon yan. Lalo na kung, let's say, ikaw ay isang doktor, isa kang professional, isa kang abogado. Madalas, nakaipon ka rin kahit papano at maaaring naitabi mo ito, nailagay mo sa isang investment instrument, nilaro mo sa money market, sa stock market, at masasabing may kinita ka. So, hindi naman nangangahulugan na yung iyong statement of assets and liabilities ay i-include lamang ng iyong kinita sa iyong sweldo. Pwedeng meron kang kinita from your investments na mag-i-explica kung bakit may ilang taon na sabihin na nating tumaas ng kaunti ang iyong sweldo.
Kaya yan yung papatunayan siguro ng depensa, makikita natin the coming days. Balik tayo sa session hall, Nikki.
In our next hearing on Tuesday at 2 o'clock,
Mr. President.
the chief of the House panel.
We have 11 witnesses, 11 witnesses more for today, and may we request that they be directed instead of 2 o'clock on Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning for marking.
The witnesses of the prosecution must come to the Senate for conference with the panel of prosecutors of the House of Representatives at
10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
One more, Mr. President. Earlier, the BIR Commissioner was directed to appear Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So may we request that she be directed instead to appear here at 10 o'clock together with the other witnesses for the prosecution.
Maybe you can, if you can contact her and
Yes.
request her to appear because I think she's gone.
We'll do that, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Discharge him.
Ano? According to the staff, 10 o'clock will be short for pre-marking of the exhibit. So
Can we do it
maybe
9 o'clock?
If you can make it at 8 o'clock, so much the better.
8 o'clock would be, 8 o'clock is fine with us, Mr. President. Thank you.
The staff will be here at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, may I take this opportunity likewise to remind the court of the caucus at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. And with that, I move to adjourn the trial until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday, January 24, 2012.
Any objection? There being none, the impeachment trial of the Honorable Chief Justice Renato C. Corona is adjourned until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday next.
All rise, and all persons are commanded to remain in their places until the Senate President and the Senators have left the session hall.
Tapos na po ang paglilitis para sa ika-4 na araw. Dito po sa nangyari kanina, 3 witnesses ang present ng prosecution. At ito po ay mga register of deeds dito sa Quezon City, Marikina at Taguig. No? At ilang properties ang mga titles ng mga properties ang akin na lang ipinisinta.
Right. Hihingan natin ng update si Von sa harap ng Senado. Von?
Alam mo kanina sa press conference ng defense, sinabi ni Attorney Joseroy na walang irregularidad doon sa mga iprinisenta nung unang humarap na Register of Deeds ng Taguig. Sabi niya, yung TCT number 2093-P daw na iprinisenta na pag-aari umano nung anak ni Chief Justice Renato Corona ay makakaya naman daw ng pamilya Corona at ayon sa kanya, tiwala sila na walang irregularidad doon sa kahit na isang property ni Corona. Samantala sinabi din niya na doon sa pamumuhay ng mga Corona ay talaga naman na may tiwala sila na wala namang irregularidad dito, no? At sinabi rin ng prosecution kanina sa kanilang press conference, sinabi ni prosecution Congressman Miro Kimbo na aminado sila na kailangan daw nilang linawin yung kanilang presentation of evidence dahil kanina nga sinabi ni Senador Alan Cayetano na paano nila nalaman na hindi na declare ang isang property ni Corona kung hindi naman talaga nila nakita yung SALN ito. Samantala nilinaw din ni Kimbo na kanilang kumbaga parang kanilang hahayaan na lamang yung presentasyon ng mga ebidensya at hindi na sila masyadong magsasalita dito. Ngunit malinaw daw na naipresenta kanina ng prosecution yung 3 properties ni Chief Justice Renato Corona sa Belayo, sa Bonifacio Ridge at sa McKinley at malinaw daw yon. Ayon naman din kay Kimbo, tagumpay sila kahapon dahil nga naipalabas nila yung SALN ni Chief Justice Renato Corona at binanggit din ni Kimbo kanina na mula 1992 hanggang 2003, ang assets ni Corona ay nasa 7.5 million. Ngunit lumaki daw ito ng triple matapos ang 9 years nang pumalo nga ito sa 22 million yung kanyang overall assets. At yan muna ang pinakauling balita mula sa akin, Mark.
Maraming salamat kasamang Von. Dumidilim na pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang aksyon at ating diskusyon dito ni Kisa kasama ating mga legal consultants.
Si Attorney Joey Bernabe at si Attorney Manix nandito pa rin. No? Kanina, yun nga, naging, of course, yung pinakita yung mga properties and all that, the defense said na irrelevant, immaterial, yung ibang mga sinasabing, kina-question patungkol dito sa pag-aari ni Constantino Castillo at Carla C. Castillo. Apparently, they still have to establish who these people are, no? Ganyan pala sa korte, kailangan talaga sino ba ang mga to at bakit ano yung relevancy nito dito sa kaso o sa kanilang kliyente, no? So, itong mga to, ito na susunod na mangyayari on Tuesday. Sinabi ng Senate President, they will have the next hearing will be on Tuesday at yung ibang mga registers of deeds ilalabas din from the other properties, ano. Kasama din dyan si BIR Commissioner Kim Henares, no. So ito from the SALN to the tax income tax return nitong respondent, mako-connect ba ito? How will they connect all of these as evidence?
Well, I am sure si Attorney Manalo will also have his inputs on this. Pero ang isang paraan para may pagdugtong-dugtong ito ay ipakita na halimbawa ito lamang ang naire-report na income. Halimbawa ni Chief Justice or even ng kanyang pamilya, ng kanyang mga anak na sinasabing bumili ng ganitong properties. Ngayon, kung ang nakareport na income doon ay, for example, 1 million a year lamang, tapos ang value ng property na binili nila let's say at 15 million, ito ay magbubukas sa pagtataka kung paano nila na-afford yung ganong 15 million. Doon pumapasok ngayon yung nabanggit natin kanina na baka sakaling i-claim ng defense na meron silang ibang income na hindi naman kailangang i-report sa income tax return dahil sa ating income tax return, ang nilalagay lang doon ay yung compensation income.
Okay. Meron akong katanungan kay Attorney Manix mamaya on the technical aspect. Pero puntahan muna natin itong press con ng defense panel nagaganap sa briefing room.
Kaya pasama natin mo.
Attorney Carlo, Quezon.
Pwede tayo magsimula.
Quintana, Carlo. I forgot his family. Yung ating defense spokes team ay handang-handa ng magsalita. At napansin natin, ang mukhang ang strategy ng defense panel, Nikki, immediately after the trial, nauuna agad sila sa press briefing room. Mukhang napaka-strategic yung kanilang galaw, pati sa pag-handle sa press.
Meron bang strategy pa talaga yun?
Good evening na pala.
Yes,
Okay,
Magandang gabi po.
Sir Mads from DCEC. Sir, sa today's hearing, puro na lang mga sa Registry of Deeds sa iba't iba, Quezon City, Taguig, and Marikina yung pinapresent nila. Sa tingin nyo ba may bearing pa yun? Lalo na yung mga nakikita na mga title is sa mga kamag-anak.
Maganda yung tanong mo, no? Kung makikita mo sa unang testigo na pinisenta nila, ang napakita doon ay ang Bellagio property. Na-admitted naman yon ng Chief Justice. At the same time, yung ilang titulo na nakakabit doon ay pang parking lot. At makikita rin doon that there is a Mega World property na tinukoy din nila na canceled na. Meron rin isang condominium unit doon na nasa pangalan ng kaniyang anak na babae na si Sharina. Tapos matapos noon ay meron na namang Register of Deeds, this time from Quezon City. Makikita nyo na marami doon ang pinipresenta. Pero meron doon sa pangalan ng anak niya na may nakasal sa isang doktor. Meron po roon na sinabi naman doon sa floor na makikita nyo na nakansila na rin. So lahat pong ito ay makikita sa mga susunod na araw. Natutuwa nga po kami at nakikita ito ng mga taong bayan na nakikinig sila, ano ba itong mga properties na ito?
Sir, so far, what's your assessment to support the impeachment trial? You think may bearing ba yung mga nilalabas nila?
Well, kami ay natutuwa lalo na nung una, yung sa una, dahil nakikita doon, lalo na sa Taguig, yung Bellagio, tapos 3 plus 3 titles, di ba? Parking lot po yung lumabas doon. Tapos nakita, nagpresenta rin sila ng title, Mega World, kansiladong title nung Mega World. Yung sumunod naman po, pati yung La Vista ay naibenta na rin po yon. Yung Alayala Heights po ay naibenta na rin.
So siguro nagpapatunay lang ito na yung mga properties na nilabas sa atin, no, sa media, masyado naman ho itong bloated, no? Wala ho talaga itong basihan. At ito talagang parang nagiging parang fishing expedition na lang ho, no? Na parang namimingwit tayo ng ebidensya, pag nakakuha, ipipresenta sa media, makikita ng tao, pero pag sa loob naman ng impeachment trial, makikita na hindi.
Kaya nga po ang suggestion namin, andyan po kayo, makakatulong po kayo na busisiin para malaman ng taong bayan. Mabuti rin, makinig sila para makita nila kung anong tunay na nangyayari.
Kung
ang claim ninyo ay nakakatulong sa inyo, yung pinipresenta pong mga dokumento, mag-o-object pa rin po ba kayo sa
Hindi,
presentasyon
ganito
nito?
po yun. Mabuti, maganda po yung tanong nyo. Maraming salamat po, no?
Meron kayong continuing
Oh,
objection?
ganito po yan. Kasi ang isang dokumento, hindi naman basta lang ipapasok mo yan eh. Pagtingin mo, pabor sa'yo, pasok mo. Kasi po may proseso na magpresenta po nito. First, you will have to identify it. Kaya po may testigo sila. Naalala nyo po nung pangalawang araw, hindi tumuloy dahil po walang testigo. Pangalawa po, that document will have to be examined. Kung original ba ito? Is it clean? Is it altered? Are there changes? Does it represent to be the document it purports to be? Ito ba yung dokumentong sinasabi niya? So, pero sa prosesong ito, wag po sana tayong mainip. Dahil sa huli, makikita naman po natin kung sino talaga nagmamayari ng titulo.
Idadagdag ko lang, may yung continuing objection namin ay dahil nga hindi pa na didesisyonan yung issue na yung ill-gotten wealth ay hindi nila nailagay na maayos dun sa verified complaint, kaya wala silang karapatan na maglabas ng mga ebidensya tungkol dito.
Okay. Ipaupuin natin dito si Justice Cuevas ng aming lead counsel. Para, dito sa gitna. Dito sa gitna. Dahan-dahan. Hindi, dito ka sa gitna.
Sige, thank you.
Sa gitna ka.
Sige, thank you.
Okay. Upo ka muna.
You're on your...
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Justice Cuevas, ready to be roasted by you at your pleasure. Napakalakas yata.
Hindi po, may echo kasi yun.
May echo.
Yan ang may echo.
Oo, sige.
Sir, ano na po yung analysis ninyo doon sa mga ipinaresentang dokumento buhat sa Register of Deeds o Registers of Deeds?
Wala po naman nangyari kundi marking lamang eh. We have not reached a point in procedure further than marking. Minarkahan po lamang. Wala pang offer. There is no occasion for the court to make an evaluation or assessment of the value or admissibility of those documents. Yun po lamang ang napag-usapan ngayong araw na ito.
Sir, wala daw problema if Justice Corona tumayo siya as attorney-in-fact for her daughter as being may position siya sa Supreme Court?
Walang problema na tumayong...
As an attorney-in-fact?
Saan?
Doon sa mga properties na... dalawa yata, isa lang, no? Property na...
Bakit? What is the seeming...
Sir, wala po bang problema yon? Walang conflict?
Wala po.
Walang conflict or
His
connection?
being a member of the Supreme Court is no legal disqualification for him to be appointed as representative of her daughter and vice versa. Because it does not involve the exercise of his functions or duties as a member of the Supreme Court. So it will not in any way affect.
Pero sir, yung proof of ownership niya doon sa ano?
Hindi pa naman pinag-uusapan po yun eh. Minarkahan lamang ngayon. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Magpipresenta sila, maglalabas na isang dokumento, then magka-argue na. That's not allowed under the law of evidence.
Good evening, Justice
Hindi
Cuevas.
pa ho kami dumadating sa parte na. Sige po.
Alex Calda po ng DCMM. Sabi kanina ng prosecution panel sa presscon, the document will speak for itself. Hindi na kailangan ng tao na magpapatotoo doon sa laman ng mga dokumento.
Pala'y ganun. Bakit may patala pa silang tao? Mabuti nga. Yung palang dokumento, basta ganyan mo lang, will speak for themselves. Bakit may tao pa? Bakit nila sinapinahan to testify and produce? Clearly indicating na hindi pwedeng dokumento. Sinong cross-examine namin yung dokumento? Baka takot silang ma-cross-examine ni Justice Cuevas.
Yes.
Because my experience is over a period of 3 decades as a member of the bar, as a member of the Supreme Court, there are people who had been mangled by me beyond recognition after taking the witness stand. And I hope it will not happen here.
Justice, paki-explain naman po sa mga hindi kabisado yung mga terms, ano. Pagka po sinabi bang attorney in fact, ano po ba ang ibig sabihin nun? Anong kakayanan ng isang attorney in fact?
Kung ano po yung power of attorney binigay sa kanya, yun lang ang magagawa niya. Halimbawa, para ipagbili, para administrahin kung bahay o lupa, yun po lang ang magagawa niya.
So, what does it say kung ang attorney in fact ng...
Hindi pa namin nakikita ang sinasabi nila eh. Nakalagay lang sa dokumento. Hindi naman nangungusap yung dokumento para sabihin, ito ang magagawa mo, itong hindi mo magagawa. Wala pa pong ganun. Hindi po kami dumadating pa ron. Sorry.
Sir, bakit niyo po kini-question yung pagbanggit nila ng mga titulo na nakapangalan sa anak at son-in-law?
Pending consideration po yun sapagkat ang contention namin, meron na ruling doon po, may resolution na eh. They were requesting that the impeached Justice Corona, together with his wife and the children, be compelled to appear by way of subpoena. We oppose that. And our basis of opposition insofar as Justice Corona is concerned is that he enjoys the privilege or the right not to be compelled to testify against himself. That is a constitutional provision under Article 3, Section 17 of our Constitution. So to compel him will be in violation of that constitutional provision. In fact, I may jokingly said, if they compel him, violation ng Constitution yun. Culpable violation of the Constitution. Ngayon, yun namang asawa, exempted din po yun under our law of evidence. The wife or the husband may not be compelled to testify during the marriage to testify on any matter except in cases where criminal cases where the offense is committed against the offended spouse or in a civil case by one against the other.
Sir, bakit po ba immaterial yung pagbanggit ng mga pag-aari ng mga anak at son-in-law?
Kasi po ang nakalagay, hindi material yun. Nakalagay po rin sa ating rules of evidence also that a descendant may not be compelled to testify against his parents. Kung pipresenta po yan, sinasabi nilang document, di parang tumitestigo na yung anak laban sa magulang. Direct his parents or direct descending or ascending line.
Sir, good afternoon. Comments
Good afternoon.
on the statements of at least two senators that they're confused as far as Article 2 is concerned. Ano ba yun? May tatlo yun, di ba?
Yung may sabi po na nata si Senator Scudore, kung nakukompuse siya, ano magagawa natin? May remedyo ba si Justice Cuevas doon? Now, but we go into the actuality of the situation. Nakalagay po doon, meron sinasabing violation ng law dealing with SAL. Yun ang sinasabi. Tapos na po sila ron. Ngayon, ang pinag-usap, ang kanilang pinipresenta, di umano ill-gotten wealth. Wala po naman nakalagay doon sa kanilang articles of impeachment, kundi it is reported, it is speculated. Hindi naman pwede. Kung halimbawa nakalagay, it is reported that Justice Cuevas has 4 wives. By incriminating masyado, hindi naman ako makapagdidepensa na. Hindi po pinahintulot ng law on pleadings yun.
Sir, Ninfa po sa DZWB.
Ninfa.
Opo.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. So yun nga po yung pinapoint out ninyo na SALN lang yung na allegedly ay non-disclosure ng SALN lang ang title ng Article 2. Pero may discussion naman daw po tungkol dun sa non-inclusion ng mga assets at dun sa accumulation ng ill-gotten wealth. Doon po sa kabuuan ng Article 2.
Hindi po namin sila pinagbabawalan o kinokontra namin na magpresenta sila ng ebidensya sa anumang suliranin sa impeachment court. Ang amin pong tinututulan is, yan ba saklaw ng impeachment complaint ninyo? If the answer is yes, go ahead. But if the answer is no, then it is Chief Justice Corona is entitled to oppose and avail of the benefits of the right against he is entitled to due process. He is now the person impeached. Sa pangkaraniwang salita, siya ang dinidemanda. He has the right to notice under the rule of constitutional law on due process. He also the right to be heard. Kung hindi po isasagawa yan, di parang na natin sinintensya na isang tao nang hindi natin binigyan ng pagkakataon para maidepensa ang kanyang sarili. Yan pang isa. But more importantly, being a respondent, he is situated in exactly the same position as a person accused of a crime. He enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. Ang sinasabi po, di patunayan ninyo na ganito yan, ganito. Hindi po, Sila po ang may obligasyon na magpatunay. Because the presumption of innocence is in our favor. I should know because I have been a fiscal of Manila for almost 20 years. And that was my job during all those times. Kaya hindi po pwedeng idinimanda mo yung akusado magsasabi wala siyang kasalanan. Kinakailangan patunayan muna ng prosecution na may kasalanan siya. And if prima facie case had been established against him, then that is the time that he will be placed on the defense. Ganon po ang procedure natin.
Sir, good afternoon po. I'm Richie Horario from Manila Times. So, kanina po kasi sa press ko ni Attorney Roy, sabi niya, there are some insinuations kasi that mayroon na raw pong mga senator judges na they tend to be impartial and allegedly they are actually aiding or helping some of the prosecutors during the hearing.
Ni Roy,
Opo. So sabi po niya,
kayo ba ay nakikinig ng proceedings?
Opo. So the defense team is actually, sabi niya, will not take very lightly yung motion to inhibit some of the senator judges. So what would be the stand of the defense
Sa tingin ko po merong katwiran si Attorney Roy na sabihin yan. Sapagkat yan po batay sa pangyayari na nagtupad nung bista noong kahapon. Hindi sila makapagpresenta na ebidensya. Na-close sila ng evidence. Pagpasok ni Senator Roy, napilitan yung testigo nila yan, yung clerk of court, na i-produce. Kasi tinanong, kung hindi ba namin i-produce ako baka ipakulong ka. Huwag kang mag-aalala. Kung sabagay, huwag kang mag-aalala. Dadalawin ka namin, bibigyan ka namin ng musketero, bibigyan ka namin pero lambing lang po yun. Pwede mangyari yun. Sapagkat nakita ninyo yung mga ibang kaso, humantong doon sa pagkulong, doon sa pinagtitistigo.
So, may tendency po na mag-file ng motion nga ang defense for inhibition ng some senator judges in the future.
Pinag-aaralan po namin yan. Sapagkat alam po ninyo, maselang itong suliranin neto Humaharap kami sa isang korte na binubuo ng 23 senators. Hindi po katulad yan nung isang kaso, isang criminal case lang sa isang husgado. Dito siyempre, naninimbang din kayo. Mga tao din naman yung mga senator judges na yan. May mga sensibilities yan. So we have to act accordingly also.
Nagbabalik po tayo dito sa ating lugar kung saan tayo nakikipag-usap sa ating mga legal consultants at mapalad tayo at this point to be joined by
Senator Chis Escudero. Magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon sa ating televiewers. Magandang hapon din po.
Nais kong tanungin yung kanina kasi tumayo kayo para questionin itong prosecution team patungkol nga dito sa impeachment article number 2 na sinasabi mo there are 3 questions here, hindi lang iisa, yung sinasabing acquisition of ill-gotten wealth, yung non-disclosure ng SALN, pati yung hindi paglalagay ng ilang properties sa SALN. Ito kailangan saguting isa-isa because you will vote on these 3. Paano ngayon ang mangyayari? Well, you raised a very important point.
Actually, hindi yung tanong sa kanila. Pakiusap na sa memorandum nilang isasubmit kasi pinasubmit sila ng memorandum roughly on that point. Isama na nila yung diskusyon nila ron para magiyahan kami. Kasi 8 article yan. Betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution. Lahat ng 8 yun. And each article must allege a specific act or omission. Para i-determine namin, ginawa ba talaga niya to o hindi niya to ginawa, which therefore constitutes culpable violation of the Constitution or betrayal of public trust.
Pero babalik tayo, Senator Chis, dun sa katanungan na naman, yung nature ng impeachment trial. Should it be form over substance? Dahil ito mukhang it's a technical issue. Anong tingin po ninyo?
Tama yung sinabi ng ilan na the body controls not the title. Agree ako doon. Kung libro pinag-uusapan natin. Pero ang pinag-uusapan natin ito, charge. Article of impeachment, maliwanag. Ang nakalagay lang doon, sa pagdating ng botohan, actually, ina-advance ko lang ng konti. Pagdating ng botohan, pagdating ng Article 2, babasahin niya ng Secretary General. On the charge of culpable violation of the Constitution and or betrayal of the public trust in failing to disclose the SALN in accordance with Article 11, Section blah of the Constitution, how say you? Hindi naman sasabihin na ron yung did not disclose in your SALN. Hindi na sasabihin doon yung amassed ill-gotten wealth. Yun medyo yung nirereklamo ni Attorney Cuevas na hindi naman sufficiently alleged. Yun, bagaman medyo depektibo talaga yung pagkaka-allege, tanggapin natin.
Pwede ba bang palitan nila yon ngayon?
At yung
Pwede i-amend?
dagdagan ko lang, Iki, dun sa kanilang reply daw, merong dagdag doon na statements. We should help to clarify yung unang pinasa.
Doon papasok yung form over substance. Na sige, ako boboto pag naging tanong yon na dapat payagan ipresenta yung ebidensya. Pero pagkatapos ngayon payagan presenta yung ebidensya, paano ngayon namin pagbobotohan yung artikulo na hindi naman sinama talaga yon pero bahagi ng kwento? Ask any lawyer, hindi naman talaga ganun ang pag-allege ng ultimate fact eh.
So how can this actually be resolved if they cannot amend it anymore?
This will form part of the precedent of impeachment trials in the Philippines. How we will resolve this matter and vote on the matter. May senador siguro mag-iisip na dapat all three must be proven before I vote yes. May ibang senador na magsasabing 1 out of 3 lang, pwede na yan. Yun ang posisyon ng prosecution, siyempre. Magiging posisyon ng defense, siyempre. Hindi. Yung tatlo, binanggit nila sa isang article, dapat yung tatlo mapatunayan.
Si Associate Justice Cuevas, nag-enter po ng continuing objection dito sa buong linya ng pagtatanong na ito. But parang the senators, kayo nagdesisyong pakinggan at tingnan lahat nitong ebidensyang ito. Makikita ba dyan, Senator, yung majority na feeling ng mga senador na mas importante sa amin yung kwento rather than this technical issue?
True, mas importante makapasok yun at marinig at matimbang. Pero sa dulo, mahaharapin pa rin namin yung tanong na yun. Paano namin pagbobotohan ito? Yun ang rason naman kung bakit dapat sufficiently alleged. In any impeachment complaint, in any part of the world, an impeachment article must consist of 4 things. Una, there is an act or omission complained of. Isa lang. Pangalawa, that act or omission was committed by an impeachable officer. Pangatlo, that the act complained of is criminal in nature or amounting to a violation of the law. And fourth, na it is tantamount to one of the grounds for impeachment. Culpable violation, betrayal of public trust. So the mere fact na napatunayan mong may krimeng ginawa ang isang opisyal, kailangan patunayan mo yung pangalawa na impeachable ito. Halimbawa, ang parusa sa hindi pag-file ng SAL ay 1 to 6 months na pagkakabilanggo, pinakamababa, hanggang 5 taon, pinakamataas. Ito ba yung sinasabing culpable violation of the Constitution kung ganyan lang naman kababa ang penalty sa ilalim ng batas? They have to argue it on both sides. Pangalawa, wala namang nakalagay sa Constitution na yung paraan ng pag-disclose. Kaya ang ina-argue ng mga defense counsel, hindi ba, the disclosure requirement is a requirement of statute, not of the Constitution. If he violated it, he violated a law and not the Constitution. Papaliwanag nila yan. Sabihin ng kabila, hindi. Nabanggit dun eh. Although ang banggit ng Constitution as may be provided by law.
Pero Senator, marami sa ating mga senador ay hindi rin abogado at marami din sa ating senador nakikinig sa sentimento ng kababayan natin at yung nature nga ng impeachment trial is really a trial by the people through their representatives. Sa tingin mo, how will their training and their background affect the way they assess things?
Doon sa mga abogado, siyempre, nasanay sa trial, mas masusi yung pagtingin nila dito sa ebidensya. Merong admissible, may hindi admissible. Doon sa hindi siguro, mas maluwang yung pagtanggap nila ng ebidensya at pagkonsidera ng gagamitin nila, pagtimbang nila kung ang decision nila ay yes or no. Di ba, kahit sa Amerika, yung jury system, di ba? May mga scenes sa television na the jury is instructed to ignore that. Although sinabi sa korte, ang hirap nun, narinig mo na eh. Pero sasabihan ka na hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yan, eh? Mahirap yun para sa hindi nag-litigate o nag-practice.
May mga observations kasi lumalabas sa social media, no, na parang kasi pag hindi daw handa ang prosecution, parang the senator judges take over at sila na yung nagka-question na parang at magagaling at tinuturungan itong how do you feel about that?
To begin with, huwag nilang lahatin. Kilala naman natin kung sino lang yun at kung ilan lang yun. Hindi naman siguro kami kabilang doon. Pero siguro it's more out of frustration and not because of bias why some senator judges are asking questions. It's more out of siguro exasperation on their part. Kasi ang haba-haba ng ikot, ang daming objection, mas gusto nila siguro ma-abbreviate yung proceedings. So again,
kagaya nito ngayon, napakatagal nitong markings and all that. I mean, yung sabayan na nanonood, parang syempre naboboard na sila. Is this really actually important? Itong mga little details na to?
Well, hindi ko sila masisisi kasi maski na ako nakakatatlong kape na kanina eh.
Nikki, Senator, kasama din po pala natin Congressman Erin Tanyada from the prosecution.
Welcome back.
Magkasama
Communication
naman
Group.
kami.
Congressman Erin, no, how do you feel about what went on today? Ano, yung assessment mo ng pangyayari ngayon?
Well, at least pwede po nating sabihin na napayagan po kami at least provisionally na ilatag yung mga ebidensya, no, na ma-authenticate ng mga register of deeds yung iba't ibang mga titulo. And well, we'll see later on when there's going to be a formal offer of evidence whether all these evidence would be accepted by the Senate Impeachment Court.
I'd like to go back to Senator Cheese. Senator Cheese, we saw earlier Senator Jinggoy reading a book on evidence. Paki-explain nga po, how are the non-lawyers in the Senate coping with the demands of this work?
Well, like Senator Estrada and the other senators, probably they're reading on it. I think Senator Estrada took up law when he was still in his younger years, not in the not so distant past. And more especially for Senator Estrada because he's the Senate President Pro Tem. In case the Senate President is unavailable or cannot preside, he will be tasked to preside. So, may dagdag siyang kailangan i-review tungkol sa rules on evidence.
And people are saying they're missing Senator Miriam Santiago, ano? Yung
Definitely, nakakamiss si Ma'am Miriam.
Sure, it would have been more explosive.
Definitely.
It would have been less boring siguro kung meron siyang mga interjections din.
Kay Congressman Eric, Congressman, kumusta yung inyong assessment sa performance dun sa technical na aspeto ng inyong mga abogado ngayon?
Well, of course, kailangan continuous improvement. No, I can mention that even the congressmen prosecutors who have not been practicing for quite some time dahil sa prohibition sa saligang batas, patuloy rin nag-aabol sa pag-aaral.
Mukhang Congressman Barzaga redeemed himself today.
I think so, no, but the other congressmen who would be also presenting evidence later on in the different other articles, I think are doing also their homework. At least hindi sila nakasalang kagad, nakita nila kung ano nangyari with regard to this article, and they know what to expect once they're the ones presenting their respective evidence.
Dehado palagi yung una eh. Dehado palagi yung una. Kung sino man ang nauna.
Senator Cheese, kinabahan ka ba dun kay Attorney Vidal kahapon? Kasi nga, if the Senate did not demand for her to give those SAL-Ns, and the Supreme Court said, no, don't give those SAL-Ns, it would have been a major constitutional issue.
That was Senator Arroyo's point, but I was confident yesterday that the Supreme Court would have. And within the hour, the Supreme Court said that she will not be penalized and that, in effect, they allowed her to do it.
Yes,
I was confident that they would have done that.
Kanina, yung sa press con ng prosecution team, sinabi na maaring i-cite in contempt si Vidal because nagsinungaling siya na nung unang tinanong siya, wala siyang sinasabi na nasa kanya yung SAL-N.
Wala naman po sinasabi na isa-cite for contempt. No? All we're just saying is that there was a question asked and she did not answer clearly. No? But I think after having been upfront at binigay po niya yung statements of assets and liabilities network, I think we should commend her for doing that. And I think even the prosecutors may be willing to let it go because she did her job.
Senator Cheese, I'm sure you read the papers, you listen to the news every day. How will this affect your judgment dito sa kaso nito?
Lalo na daw, Senator, mayroong election sa 2030.
Not that much, actually. Not that much. Nagbabasa lang ako ng dyaryo kasi minsan mas maganda mag-summarize yung dyaryo kung ano nangyari.
Mas malinaw.
Mas malinaw.
Biglang gumanda.
Minsan nawawala ka sa diskusyon eh. Mas maganda mag-summarize. Some of us have had experiences sa impeachment. For example, no impeachment ni dating Pangulong Estrada na nakilaw kami, nasa panig ako noon ni dating Pangulong Estrada. Not necessarily the most popular position to take at that time, leading to the 01 election. Nung impeachment ni Chief Justice Davide, isa kami sa nag-file noon. Not necessarily the most popular position also. Nung impeachment ni dating Pangulong Arroyo, we were on that side, one of the more popular positions. But whether it's popular or not, at least insofar as my experience on impeachment is concerned in the House or here in the Senate, regardless of public opinion, we
Yung-
take a side.
In those previous incidents, Senator, you were clearly taking a side. Tapos, ngayon, you're supposed to be neutral, assessing all these things. How does that
But we
compare
will
to
take a
those
side sooner or later. We will be forced to take a side sooner or later. Unlike the other congressmen who did not participate in these proceedings, they can very well sit in the middle. Unfortunately for us as judges, we have to decide. Ika nga, dapat may mananalo at matatalo dito, hindi pwedeng patas. Walang desisyong patas dito.
Congressman Erin, itong next week, Tuesday, you're set to present more witnesses kasama dyan si Commissioner Kim Henares. What can we expect from dito sa Commissioner Henares?
Well, I cannot go into that because katabi ko yung si Senator. Baka makontest
Bawal ba?
It's going into the merits
Hindi ba
and
pwede
strategy.
yung ganon?
Hindi pwede.
Senator Cheese, how
Pwede naman konti lang.
Hint lang, hint.
Obviously, she's the head of one agency, no?
Yes,
the Bureau
yes.
Of Internal Revenue.
Internal Revenue, and she's in possession of certain documents. So she'll be bringing those documents to the court.
Kailangan na magtutugma dito sa SALN niya, yung income tax
This
niya.
would have been the second instance where there would have been a constitutional crisis. Would have been Una, itong sala ng Supreme Court Justices dahil may resolution. Under the law, ito hindi lang resolution, under the law, ITRs cannot be produced unless the President authorizes it. Sa sitwasyong ito, ang Presidente nais din mahanap ang katotohanan. So, malamang, i-authorize niyan. Pero paano
Have you
kung-
gotten the authorization of the
Well, I
President?
wouldn't know. It's
Pero paano kung iba yung sitwasyon na yung Presidente hindi sumasang-ayon at ayaw mag-issue ng authorization at may sabina ang Senado? Ano ngayon ang gagawin ng BIR Commissioner? Ito'y hindi paglabag lamang ng resolution na pwede kayo contempt. Ito may kulong pag nilabag mo yung provision ng Revenue Code. So, dalawa lang naman yan. Wala nang ibang magkakatama.
Senator Cheese, ito buong proseso ito, gaano ka-importante para sa ating demokrasya na matapos ito ng tama dahil hindi natapos yung kay Erap, yung kay Merceditas na abort, hindi natuloy. Gaano ka-importante that we finish this in a decent, legal, dignified way?
Hindi lang para sa ating demokrasya, para sa ating kasaysayan. Dahil sa kasaysayan natin, wala pa tayong natapos eh.
Wala pa.
Masakit na proseso ang impeachment para sa isang bansa na dumadaan o pinagdadaanan yan. Kung may iisa tayong pwedeng mapala dito, sana na mapatunayan natin kaya nating tapusin, kaya nating resolbahan ang hindi natin pagkakaintindihan sa bansa, maski nang nagbabangga na yung pinakamatataas na opisyal ng bansa sa isang mapayapa, legal, konstitusyonal na paraan. Sino man ang manalo-matalo, hindi na siguro mahalaga yun.
Meron po nagsasuggest na sana gawin sa ating wika itong prosesong ito para maintindihan ng mas nakararami. Kaya po ba yun? Ng
Kasi
prosecution.
mas komportable pa sila sa wikang Pilipino, yung impression ng marami.
Well, depende talaga yan sa mga prosecutors, no? Kung nararamdaman nila yung magsalita ng Tagalog. Pero nasa kanila talaga yan. At sa tingin ko nga, kung kakayanin naman ng mga prosecutors, why not? No? Or pwedeng a mixture of English and Tagalog para mas lalo nga maintindihan ng taong bayan.
Last question for Senator Cheese. I asked this to Congressman Erin a couple of days before, Senator. Is it business as usual for the Senate? Dahil malaking bagay ito, busy kayo, pero are you still able to do the regular Senate functions?
No, it's not business as usual and it's clearly taking its toll on our legislative work. Una, dati ang committee hearings namin, Monday to Thursday tuwing umaga. Nabura na yon, Thursday na lamang ang committee hearings namin. Biyernes siguro, although 4-day work week lang kami. Ang session namin, Monday to Wednesday, alas 3 ng hapon hanggang sawa. Ngayon ang session namin, alas 9 na lamang hanggang alas 12 ng tanghali. Dati nagagamit namin tong room na to pang hearing. Nandito kayo ngayon.
Salamat for lending us this space.
Wala kaming magamit na pang committee hearing ngayon. Bagaman gusto namin din mag-hearing sa Huwebes na nga lang sana o Biyernes, hindi pa rin po pwede. It's taking its toll, but it's our constitutional duty to finish this. It's not a question of whether or not it's worth it. Let history be the judge of that. I think it's more a question of it's our duty which we have to fulfill and perform.
So, paano po yun? Kung maging protracted ito, umabot ng 6 na buwan, 1 year.
Wag naman.
You know, you can't tell with the way the defense is going, ang daming
Kasi
mga
napapanood ko kayo manood, day 4 na impeachment. Imagine ba kung day 68, day 100.
Senator, Congressman, kung kailangan si Congressman sa briefing room, nandun po ang mga prosecution. Thank you very much, Senator. Congressman, thank you very much.
Thank you very much sa inyong dalawa.
Okay?
We will see you again on
Ito, sa
Tuesday.
briefing room. Punta tayo sa briefing room ng prosecution
Properties
team.
naman yung present namin para makita natin kung may mga properties ba na na-declare sa SALN, kung mayroong bang grossly undervalued sa SALN. Yung mga properties naman ng pamilya, like yung sa anak, kinuha rin namin kanina at minark rin namin dahil gusto namin malaman kung merong ang legitimate sources of income. Like for example, yung La Vista property, 20.4 million yung zonal valuation, but it was purchased, no, supposedly sold to the daughter by 18 million. So that was in 2010 eh. Pangalawa, doon din sa isang anak sa same daughter, merong same daughter niya si Maria Carla, married to Constantino. Doon naman sa Kalayaan Avenue, Quezon City, in 2008 ito, 2009 pala, no? 15 million pesos. So, at least makikita nyo na, noong 2003, presumably, medyo bata pa yung mga anak noong 2003, merong sa Cubao, hindi ko lang sure kung, ito, sa District of Cubao, Quezon City, ang purchase price nito noong 2003 is 10.5 million pesos. So, ibig sabihin, pag tinotal mo yan, 10.5 plus 18 plus 15, magkano yon? So, titingnan natin kung may legitimate sources of income itong mga anak o baka naman ginagamit lang yung mga anak, no? That's why bubuuhin lang namin yung picture ng mga properties ngayong araw at hopefully next week by hindi ko lang alam kung anong araw na kumpleto na yung BIR, makikita natin yung kahit yung sources of income ng mga anak. At the same time gusto namin tingnan kasi nagtataka kami kung bakit iba yung deed of absolute sale na purchase price sa mga documents ni Chief Justice, iba na ba na nakalagay sa SALN? For the information lang ng publiko, acquisition cost dapat, magkano mo ba in-acquire yon? Yun ang lalagay mo sa SALN mo. Ang SALN na nakita namin dito na nakuha kahapon, walang linagay na acquisition cost. Sa lahat ng SALN na years, si Chief Justice. Kaya ang question, bakit? Ano yung bakit walang acquisition cost? Bakit grossly undervalued lahat? Like for example, the Villaggio. The Villaggio, ang absolute deed of absolute sale 14.5. Although we will question na hindi lang yan 14.5, 'di ba? Mas mataas yan. Pero assuming pagpalagay natin na 14.5 yan, bakit magkano lang yan di-declare sa SALN mo? At that time nung 2010 or 2009, ikaw na may-ari niyan kasi deed of absolute sale yan eh. At maraming mga properties na bakit dineclare lang noong 2010, although purchase yan noong 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. So hindi namin alam kung hinabo lang ba ito. So we will also look at the authenticity nung mga SALN. So basically next week ang mangyayari next week, alam nyo naman yung sinubpi na natin, 11 witnesses yon, pero I think it will be an interesting week next week kasi may mga ibang documents, may mga ibang mga information na hindi pa alam ng publiko na hopefully kung matapos namin yung mga properties we can present na next week. Kung hindi, the week after next. Pero we have in possession of documents, in possession of well, hindi ko na sabihin tayo specific but just documents, information that will present to the impeachment tribunal na hindi pa alam ng publiko. Well, hindi namin sinasabi na may 45 properties, 'di ba? Kasi yung 45 na include doon yung kanyang in-laws, no? Pero definitely definitely, hindi yung 5 yung properties. Kasi, yung sa umpisa pa lang, sobra na eh. Definitely not 5, no? It could be in between 45 to 5, pero yun pa yung i-establish namin habang by next week siguro yun.
Sir, comment niyo po dun sa reactions na isang significant piece of information ay nagmula na naman sa isang senator judge at hindi sa prosecution na nag-examine do sa testigo.
Well, siguro you're referring doon sa...
Attorney in fact.
You're referring siguro doon sa McKinley Hill property. Kasi yung McKinley Hill property na 6.2, parang around 6.2 million yon. Nasa pangalan ni Sherina yon, Maria Sherina. Pero ang attorney in fact noon, attorney in fact, and actually the one who signed for her, ang kanyang ama, si Chief Justice Renato Corona. So I don't know kung I don't know kung hindi nakaligtaan rin yung kanina, pero anyway, that's the information na na alam naman ng prosecution yon. At least nalabas yon. Kung hindi, pwede naman namin let's say, i-manifest at least.
Yes, sir.
And it is part, kasi yung ebidensya kasi, part ng yung document mismo, yun, di ba yun yung best evidence dun sa dokumento, at nandoon na yun eh. Lalo na kanina, tinawag kami ni presiding officer JPE na kung pwede yung pag-mark ng mga documents, kung pwede raw at least yung mabilisan lang na i-mark as exhibit, yung title lang, yung mga sub-markings raw kung pwede, wag na dun sabihin mismo para mapadali yung ating trial. So by next week, yun na yung procedure para mabilis yung marking.
Sir, yung the comment was bakit hindi yung prosecution ang nakapag-elicit nung information na yon?
Actually, hindi mo na kailangan i-elicit yun eh. Kasi andun na sa dokumento yun eh. Actually, andito na yun eh. Yung pirma mismo ni... at saka yung attorney in fact, nakalagay na dito eh. So, ito na mismo yung... Kasi kanina, marking of exhibits pa lang. Once we offer it, di ba? At natanggap ng impeachment tribunal, that will be part of the evidence na for the prosecution.
Sir, Ernie Reyes, may observation...
Dagdag lang muna natin dun sa sagot ni Congressman Tupas. Kaya hindi naman importante sa nanggaling yung tanong eh. Kasi public trial to eh. Impeachment is a public trial. So, basta lumabas ang katotohanan, yan ang importante, di ba?
At saka dagdagan ko lang, no. I hope that the entire afternoon is not ang senyales ng hapon na ito hindi lang naman doon sa isang segundo na no, isang point. Importante yung punto po na yon, pero tingin ko pinaka-importante sa puntong ng hapon na ito ay naipresenta ng maayos ng mga abogado, ng prosecution, ng aming public prosecutors at saka private prosecutors, na argue ng mabuti ng aming chief prosecutors. Practically, halos sa lahat ng usapin sa pinakamabibigat na motion, objection, karamihan doon ay sa bilang namin ay halos 80% ay nanaig yung nag-prevail at kinampihan tayo ng presiding officer. I think, let's not forget that, no? And we were able to present so many documents pertaining to sa mga properties sa pagmamayari nila na sinabi ng depensa tututulan nila hanggat sa katapusan ay hindi sila papayag na ipresenta natin yun. Huwag tayong maligaw doon because para sa amin, tingin ko, yun ang pinakamagandang accomplishment na nagawa ng buong prosecution team.
Sir Ernie Reyes, may observation si Senator Villar kanina nung interview namin na parang dun sa mga properties na binabanggit niyo, 45 properties, merong double counting, merong overlapping of ownership. Kasi ang sinasabi niya, not necessarily pag nailipat mo na sa pangalan yung particular property na hindi na ikaw may-ari nun or naibenta mo na yung property na yun na nananatili